Hey kids, you're listening to the internet's wettest podcast about video games, consoles, and pancakes. The SML Podcast. Prepare for the SML Podcast.
What's up, everybody? This is the SML Podcast. I'm your host, Joe. Joining as usual, Aki's here. How are you doing?
Pretty good. And yourself?
I'm doing good. We had a cool episode last episode that I wasn't planning to have. We got a really cool episode lined up tonight. We've got another cool episode next week with our anniversary episode. We have another cool episode next week with a Carmageddon interview. We got some cool shit lined up on this show.
Christ, we have so much.
We do.
We have too much lined up. We need to spread this shit out a little more. That way people have a reason to come back in the following months.
We're coming back strong, and then we
can't just put it all at once.
After 2 months, we just shit the bed. And their anniversary, you got to go big, right? One more show away from the anniversary. But this week, we are doing MAGFest discussion. When we do MAGFest discussion, we got to have some friends on hand. Right now, we have Grant Henry, John O'Neill, and Scott Wells on the show. How are you three doing?
Great.
Good. Just fine.
A collective yes.
Yes.
Yay.
Collective yes.
The collective.
We're excited about that Carmageddon interview next week, actually.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
That's
Carmageddon was my introduction to Fear Factory. Like, that first Carmageddon game was like, Adam and I were deep in that stuff. Loved the Carmageddon first few games, and yeah, it's fun that the brand is still kicking. So
yeah, I'm excited to see how this new one turns out, and next week we'll be able to talk about it and talk with the lead designer.
It's the Redout team too, which Redout's really good. Great game. So it's
Four
cool.
big things, yeah. I'm excited. But MAGFest. Grant, you were there. John and Scott, you were both there. A lot of people played music.
I was not.
There. Yeah, Aki, you don't leave to go anywhere.
No, I don't.
But you got
That's
dice.
The great thing about me. Yes, I did. Which is one of the reasons why I'm muted, because I really like to play with dice when I have them on hand.
Jesus.
I've been rolling these nonstop just because I can.
You have like a dice tower that you put them on and roll them down?
No, I do not.
Oh, you need one.
I almost got one during one of the festivals last year near the end of it. Harvest Homecoming. I almost got one then because there was a place that 3D printed them and was selling them to people at our festival. I almost bought one, but they were a bit more money than I had on hand at the time because they only accepted cash.
You need like a 14-story Rube Goldberg designed dice tower. Like, I wish they sold shit like that at MAGFest. You would love the dice merch that they sell at MAGFest. The one stand there is nothing but dice.
See, no, I would love that. My wallet would hate that, and I'd hate myself afterwards. That's the problem.
Did you guys do any shopping at MAGFest? What'd you pick up this year?
I picked up a vinyl copy of the arcade soundtrack to Splatterhouse.
Damn.
Done through. I forgot the company that pressed it, but it's sorts properly, so it's the good shit.
Dude, that's badass.
Yeah,
That's badass.
it's like $40. Yeah, and it's like red vinyl, and the artwork is super cool. So I was just kind of like, I had to get that. So
I thought you bought something else too. Didn't you buy something else from merch? Maybe not.
Maybe no, I don't think I did, but I think Liz did, my partner.
Oh, that's probably what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I think she got some stuff for her kid.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have a room at the Gaylord, so that kind of limits my want to buy anything because I don't want to carry it with me all day.
Oh, man, you can always leave stuff in our room.
I know, but they also kind of have the same general stuff there. Yeah. I'm there for the music, not for the shop.
Yeah,
I didn't set foot in the
swag.
marketplace.
That's true. I should buy more band swag.
This is the first year I didn't get to step foot in a concert hall at all because of my back.
You didn't? Oh, you didn't go at all. I didn't know if
I
you just made
watched
it to, like,
everything
1 or
on
2.
Mag TV.
Yeah.
Well,
I had that and
did
Twitch.
you
I
have
had
any
the
issues?
concerts pulled up all the time. My back was fucking brutal this year. But
shit.
fun little thing I could go off. I talked about last week how recently last June I clocked in at 399 and recently I checked myself, I was like 363.
Nice.
Yesterday,
That's awesome.
345.
Damn, dog.
Killing it.
That's a percentage of your body.
Hopefully
Gone.
next year I will be feeling a lot better and a lot more mobile. And I can enjoy MAGFest a lot more than in brief spurts with the party coming to me, which was awesome. I love that my room was basically a party room this year. It was great.
Yeah, that was a good time.
You did have things going on, didn't you?
Did.
Yeah.
It's not
That was
often you
rad.
could be like, oh, I have a Grammy nominee, an award-winning playwright, and the Botchamania guy all together in one room. Like, and me plus me, I'm the shitty like joke character in the RPG party. I'm Edward
You're
at the
the
beginning
glue,
of Final
man.
Fantasy IV.
That still makes you a member of
You're
the
the guy
party,
who
and
brings
that's
them
enough.
together.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that you're like the keystone, but you're like, I'm the shitty RPG character. Whatever.
You're the
I mean, to be fair, the shitty RPG character is usually the one that people like the most.
There you go.
I mean,
'Cause
look
they're
at Street
always
Fighter.
the
Everyone
comedy.
loves Dan, and he's fucking useless.
He's so beyond useless that
I'm like Dan
It's appalling.
in real life.
I don't know about that. You have value. That's more of a Jacob thing.
But yeah, this year I had a great time at MAGFest. Like I don't regret not being able to do stuff. Like I did a lap around consoles, I did a lap around arcades, talked to some indie developers, had some good conversations, browsed merch a few times because I love looking at all the different used game stands they have there. Which I'm very appreciative. There were a lot more game stands this year and a lot less artwork stands this year compared to last. And I did my panel, so I did everything I needed to do.
Yeah, it was a good panel
then
too.
I just chilled in my room and talked with everyone and had a really good like hour-long conversation with Jeff Ball. That was a fun.
That's cool.
time.
Did he stop by your room?
No, that was when we went, me, you, and him were hanging out in the dressing room, and then you went to check on the sound check. And
Oh,
then
that's right.
You just never came back, and
Yes.
you never showed up.
I did. Well, yeah, I was waiting. Yeah, the whole.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
just-
even know, John, if you know this, but like, I was gonna bring Joe to our practice, and so I was just like, everything was delayed, so we were just hanging out in the dressing room area, and then eventually we got in there, and I was like, I'm gonna go check it out. You'll probably hear us starting, and they just never showed up, and I guess the door was locked, so they just like didn't. They just hung out and went
Yeah.
elsewhere instead. But
Damn,
we
that's-
just talked for like
Joe
an
was
hour
going to
in the
be there,
dressing
but
room.
that's cool. Yeah, it works out. Worked out.
Yeah, because we heard music before, and then we still heard music, so we didn't know who was doing what.
Yeah.
I'll beat sometimes.
Just all muffled music to us and 2 rooms away. So yeah, you practiced
Yeah,
because you played. What'd you do? Who played?
Grant played twice.
I played a lot.
He played a lot, yes.
Only
He went really
twice,
hard that
Grant?
weekend.
What's that?
Said only twice.
Only twice. I don't think I've ever done more than twice at a. I mean, 2 full shows. I've guested on stuff, hopping on songs and off, and then off to the next thing. But this was like 2 full sets, and one of them was a 100-minute set. So, yeah, it was a lot. I organized the whole Rebecca Sugar showcase thing on Thursday, and then I had kind of a day break, which was great. And that was the day your panel was. And then I think it's all a blur. And then hung out, and then we did have a little Arkadian rehearsal on Friday, which was easy and fun. And then we did our Arkadian jam on Saturday. So I felt good to have it spread out a little bit. and then I could kind of like get the crazy stuff was Thursday, and I could kind of be done with that, and then just enjoy the weekend. So I got to come hang out in your room a few times and make some rounds. Although I did not set foot in the arcade, and I did not set foot in the marketplace. I did not set foot at XP stage. I didn't even see I don't even know what it looked like. I've seen videos and pictures, but I was busy enough that I just didn't go to other places. And when I was chilling, I wanted to chill, and I was like, man, I should go down and just see what pinball machines are functional. But never did. So, but that's okay. There was a music weekend, so
you didn't miss out on much pinball wise. Everything was like everything stopped working. Like almost every day, there was at least 20 to 30 pinball machines that were just out of service.
Yeah, it's like that thing where you give it a pass. You go back 5 hours later, the ones that were on are now off, and the other ones are back on again. You have to kind of like go multiple times to try and catch them. Yep. But they did apparently they had an Avatar machine, the one I did the sound for, and I kind of wanted to go down there and pop some Easter eggs on it, but I just never made it down there. But that's cool that it was there. But
if I would have known it was there, because I didn't get to check out too many of the pinball tables in my short lap, I totally would have tried to play it if I knew it was there.
Well, apparently one of the upper flipper was not working anyway, so it's like the fun
flipper. Been able to play it anyway.
So you could have like flipped it around a little and just watched all the blue lights and then been like, okay, I'm good.
Come on, you don't fucker.
Yep, smack it on the side of the back is bam. Come on, like an old TV. But yeah, I enjoyed the weekend thoroughly. Just I was kind of in my own world the whole time. So,
Scott, what did you do over the weekend? What kind of fun stuff were you up to?
Yeah, so I think ever since I started going to VGM Con, like MAGFest has been very different. Like I know a lot more people. So it's a lot more hanging out and going into like private rooms and just hanging out with party, and people that I've met. So that's pretty cool rather than like kind of wandering around aimlessly to see what's going on. But yeah, I always make room for checking out the concerts. Yeah, Grant, I knew you had done stuff with Steven Universe, but I didn't know you would actually be performing at that concert. And I'm not familiar with the show at all. So I go in and that place was packed. And there was like so much energy and like so much hardcore fandom that I had no clue about. I definitely felt like the old man in the room. I'm like, I don't know what your kids are excited about, but I'm glad you're having a good time.
Yeah, it's funny. I've been to shows like that where like, I remember going to see, oh God, I can't remember the band. It was some band in college. And it was one of those ones that everyone was obsessed with. And there was a part during one of the songs where they sing about the moon, and everyone in the crowd like put their hands over their head and make like a moon shape, and I'm just looking around. I'm like, am I at a cult meeting or, and then I thought about putting my hands up to do the moon thing too, to not look dumb, but then they put their hands down. So then, it's kind of like the guy, it looks like you're doing the wave too late at the ball game or something. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like a lot of people are big fans of the songs of that show. And that's what and Adventure Time too. And so we tried to do the hits, and there were a lot of people singing along. People love Rebecca's music. So it was loud, and we had like a celebrity surprise. We had Estelle there who did one of the character voices, which was
so
a big
cool.
Pop. Yeah, that was really cool.
The room exploded when she stepped on stage.
But I know what you mean. Like, of course, I know these songs backwards and forwards, but like, it's a loud enough crowd that you just feel like you're at someone else's party. And I mean, but it's also just good music too. So you can listen to as much of it as you want, but you certainly won't have the connect. See, it's like you see a band and they play one chord and the audience yells. And it's like, how do you even know what the song is from one chord? But that's just how they are about Rebecca's music. So, it's how it is.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes just one note is all you need for a song. Like,
it's true. It's true. Yeah. Totally.
Yep.
Body wants to.
And then I like the Arcade Fire cosplay you guys were doing.
Oh my God, it is kind of like that, isn't it?
Yeah, that's immediately what I thought of.
Wow, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it's true. It's so funny. They were like, it was an angels. You're either supposed to dress in white like an angel or in black like New York street clothes or something. And I'm like, I'm always wearing black. Every t-shirt I have is black. I might as well get some freaking linen. And let me tell you, very comfortable. Very, very just easy.
Looked like a breeze.
Feeling good. Not a lot of like, not undercarriage wasn't very sweaty after the show, get a little breeze in there. Anyway.
Sweaty balls.
Well, thanks for chicken. Yeah. No, yeah, lack of sweaty balls that says. Very nice. Thanks for watching some of that.
Do they need ground fans on stage to like
inflate your pants?
Up? Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw
Marilyn
Breaking
Monroe.
Benjamin play at the Jiffy Lube arena in Virginia a couple years back, and it was in the middle of the summer, hot as hell. There were like these two air ducts like pointing directly at his balls. It looked like, and I was like buzzed and having a good time, and I was just giving him so much shit from the crowd. I was like, I wish I was like a big famous rock star with air conditioned balls.
Yeah, Steve Vai would always do that, have like it blowing his hair up and everything, and it's just a fan, but
majestic, absolutely
majestic, absolutely. Adam, my brother, won't play without a fan, but it doesn't have anything to do with hair flying around. It has to do with not, sweating completely through everything he's wearing. But yeah, it helps.
I mean, drumming is physical.
Yep.
Extremely physical.
Like the arm waving and like foot thingies.
The arm waving, yes. And the foot thingies. I forgot about the foot thingies.
You know how technical I am with my music terms, the terminology. I know the slang you kids use.
All the boots and cats.
Yes. Yes. All of them.
Boots and cats and boots and cats and...
More of a boots and pants guy myself, but...
Boots and pants, nice.
It'll do. Yeah, and then after Mag, I mixed up the sets. I got to tell you, when this freaking Arkadian set goes live, it's going to melt your freaking face. It sounds so good.
It does. It really does. You did such a good job, man.
It slays big time, so stoked for y'all to hear it. I don't know when they're going to plan on putting that stuff up, but,
Speaking of slaying, we have a Mr. Tony Dickinson joining us. Tony, how are you doing?
What is up? Am I on the show right now?
Yes, you are.
Oh, yeah.
Singing. Oh, shit, I'm on the show?
You are on
we
it.
are live.
Wait, I need to get a beer first. Hold on.
And we have a Doug Arley here, too. How are you doing, Doug?
I am doing good. Can you hear me okay? I just got my headphones on.
Yeah, you sound good. You and Tony just coming in.
Wonderful.
We're just chatting about MAGFest. We were chatting about Grant's performances, both on stage and in the bedroom.
Ho ho!
I didn't get a chance to see any of the bedroom stuff because I had to leave. Very sad.
Oh, just pictures. We were hanging out. We took pictures. We waved.
I know. I saw all the pictures. That's what I'm talking about. Is that is where I want to be at MAGFest, right? That's the MAGFest experience I want. Is 20 people crammed into a fucking Gaylord bedroom.
That's exactly the experience you need at MAGFest, man. That's how we do. That's how we did it 20 years ago, and that's how we got to do it today. Got to run this bitch into the ground.
I just started getting Norg in my Instagram feeds of him doing 4-piece quartets by himself. It's wonderful, actually.
Oh, his singing is beautiful.
He's good at it.
Well, Doug, what did you do at MAGFest?
I thought cracking a beer sounded like a good idea.
Yeah, go grab drinks if you didn't grab one. Get tipsy.
That would have been an
grab
excellent idea. I should have thought of that.
Whatever witch's brew you were having.
I spent so much time in the music halls. I mean, listen. I have a lot of comments about MAGFest in general, but one of the big things when I get that end of the year survey that I've been saying over the past 3 or 4 years that I started going back, right, is that like we used to have like at least one like Nobuo, right? Like at least like something like that. And over time we saturate it with, we've seen the same bands and they're still good and they come up over and over and over. But like I would at least like one unique thing that I haven't seen before. Like Null Sleep was there, I think, last year or something like that. And that, that's nice. But this year, like, holy shit, man, just the amount of music, the quality of music, it was just excellent every single where you went. It was insane.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's definitely a lot. I think Emily Feder is a big credit for putting together like all the acts. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them.
Without questions.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff, and it sounded really good. Like everyone it sounded great everywhere, from what I could tell.
That was one of the things that I took. But one of the big takeaways I had too was like, Jesus, the audio quality is just stellar. It was absolutely excellent everywhere, and I spent a lot of last year going to a lot of. Like I did when we were young, I did Warped Tour, I did EDC. I was just like, it was like last year was my music festival year in general. And like, sometimes the audio is good, but sometimes the audio just like ain't good. But that even with like some of the weirdest circumstances in the MAGFest room, everything was just wonderful, perfect, excellent all the time.
I wish I knew what was going on with the Mag TV feed, because they had two feeds, one Mag TV and one that was just Mag Concerts. And the Mag Concerts feed was fuck to hell and back. The video was shot, the audio was glitchy. Like, if there were concerts on main Mag TV, they were fine, and the Twitch streams were great too. But just we couldn't figure out what was going on. They knew something was up, but bummer that they couldn't get it figured out all the way.
Yeah, as far as I know, that was Cyril's job. I'll go yell at him. Take care of it.
So Tony,
it can't be an easy job.
Cyril, you gotta make it better. I know you have too much to do. You gotta get your ass.
Yeah, for real.
Tony, you
I did that
the
for
show.
the music
what all did you do there? I'm asking questions. It's a podcast, goddamn.
Oh man. Man, what did I not do is basically everything.
What did you not do? Wait, Tony, what did you not do? What did you not do?
I basically did not do anything except my shows. Yeah. I got to see 15 minutes of Gunderslam. I got to see basically whoever I was backstage to be able to see, which included Arkadian and Danimal. Yeah, so obviously I was band manager for the Crush 40 show, and I was also, like band manager and video editor and blah 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 for my Tiberian Sons show, which was a gigantic project. But each of those bands had multiple rehearsals. We got in early, and man, for the Crush 40 thing, what ended up happening was Johnny had a guy that was supposed to fly out to run the audio visuals for the show, and he did not make his flight, and he lives in the UK. Therefore, you can't just it's a little harder to just hop on another plane and get there in time. So I ended up having to run the tracks and the video for the Crush 40 show as well. So after I rehearsed with them on Thursday, which was like at noon to 2, then I just went right back up to my hotel room. I set up a project for Crush 40, and of course, I had to like render some things out. I had to set it up, and I just I was using Ableton, so I was using Ableton to play these. To play the video, and I had like encoded in a certain format. So of course, when you re-encode something, it's you always want to like double check that the video didn't get fucked up, because that shit happens, right? So have to do like the quality assurance watch.
Didn't I hear that you had to like re-edit something very last minute, and you were like re-rendering on a laptop during MAGFest?
Oh yeah, dude. I'll get to that. Yeah. So I like the Crush 40 thing took like a few hours out of my afternoon. I got to see a little bit of Gunderslam, and then I did a rehearsal with the strings and brass, like full band Tiberian Sons thing later that night. And then Wednesday was Soundcheck with Crush 40, and then also and then so Mason Lieberman, the godfather of VGM, I guess, like he just knows everybody, was able to pull getting the brand director of Ace Combat. So for those of you who are listening who are unaware of the Tiberian Suns show, it was a 90-minute Ace Combat cinematic, like rock opera sort of thing.
Spectacular.
It was something I've been working on for a really long time, but I just love Ace Combat that much. Well, specifically the music. And Mason was able to pull a Hail Mary and get like the brand director of the friggin' franchise to like record a little video for us. So like I woke up on Friday morning and I saw that message come in. He's like, I fucking did it, man. And he sent over this video. I'm like, holy shit. So yeah, I had to redo the video. So basically, like originally it was going to have the, this is your captain speaking, which was voiced by Norg. Speaking of Norg. Yeah. The intro video was voiced by Norg. And then, so I was like, where do I put this video? Do I put it at the beginning? Do I put it at the end? But what he said, I was like, okay, I need to put this. I'm going to put this in between this is your captain speaking and the beginning of the actual performance. So I had to do that. So I had to re-render out the whole fucking video just to piece it all together, right? And once again, when you re-render something, you're gonna have to watch through just to make sure everything is okay, and like go through the project, make sure not like things did get out of alignment. And had I not done my quality assurance pass, things would have been out of line during the performance. So you just got to do it. You just fucking got to do it. And I finished the like quality assurance watch that night, basically Friday night, night before the show, and everything was okay and ready to go. Yeah, and then but like Thursday also Friday night also had like another rehearsal. Right, so I had the Crush 40 sound check. I had the afternoon where I had to deal with the re-rendering the Tiberian Suns video. Then I did the Crush 40 show, and then after the Crush 40 show, I grabbed dinner, and then I went straight into a second Tiberian Suns rehearsal. Jesus, fucking yeah.
Were you practicing in your sleep while you were at it?
Dude, I was practicing like all tour. Basically, when I went on the road, I was just practicing all tour.
You were practicing backstage at the Syracuse show in October when the Arkadian played with Power Glove, and I remember you were back there with the guitar, just like I'm just practicing Ace Combat stuff. This is like October the 7th or something, and you're just like October, Anyway. Yes, I was. I started my learning for the Ace Combat show probably August, I think. Just because I was doing like other traveling and touring and just getting things kind of in your brain sooner than later is best juju. I definitely did way the fuck too much this year, but I'm pretty proud of how things turned out, considering. But I definitely missed hangouts, and I missed going to see other concerts, and there were so many fucking good concerts and so many I had to miss. So I just have to wait until the VODs come out whenever people decide to post them. I'm working on mine right now, and I'm pretty excited with how it's sounding. But you guys will see soon enough.
Very cool. And we have
really
wanted to Havok. Ian is here.
Oh, shit.
Ian, how are you doing, bud?
Tired and cold. Just got home.
How much snow did you get up there?
I'd probably say like a foot.
No,
a foot, give or take.
You got a foot here about.
Pocket change. I mean, enough that need to go out there and blow it all out and do some shoveling and stuff, but
Doug,
nothing
you're
too
in
insane.
Florida. You don't.
Hey, it's gonna get into the 20s this weekend, which is I'm not prepared for. But at least I don't have to shovel snow. I've never shoveled snow in my life, and I'm not about to start now.
Texas got mostly ice, and so we, my partner's kid basically got 4 days of school completely off this week. So
wow,
she was pretty stoked about that.
Those are the best
slid
times.
Walking down the stairs, so I just got to say, fuck ice, man.
Yeah, for real.
But
Awesome.
Yeah, I was
And then
out
I got
there
fired.
on
Anyway,
Saturday when it started coming down. So no, I wasn't out there Saturday. So Sunday after it had fucking come down, I went out and did my initial dig out, and it's still coming down. So like to stay on top of it, I'm out there like every hour for like the next 4 hours, and then it gets dark. I'm like, cool, I'm going inside and not doing it. Next morning, looked like I had done nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Nothing at all. I was like, I'm glad I wasted my day.
That's how mine was. Like my whole my car's parked in like a carport in an alleyway, and I'm the only section on that in that alley that did anything on their side of the street. Everything else was like covered in snow, ice, and even when things started melting, we had like 2 different days where things like had a refreeze. So it was bad.
I've got a corner lot, and the like lot next to me is kind of empty. It's mine, but it's almost like an empty lot, basically a house worth. So I probably have like the most real estate to cover as far as sidewalk clearance in the entire neighborhood.
Man.
It sucks when it comes to like clearing leaves and doing snow.
I'm so happy. I live in a poor, shitty neighborhood. No one does that shit.
That and you're in Vegas
When I got
right
up this
now.
morning and went to Starbucks, I had to put on a heavier jacket. That was, I had to find it. I didn't even know where it was.
Dude, it was like 18 today, and I wore a hoodie to go to the weed store.
I live in SoCal, so I don't deal with snow anymore. I actually kind of miss it.
I am amazed at how beautiful the weather was at MAGFest this year.
We got lucky this year.
It was very nice.
Very strange.
Wasn't one day like 60s?
Yeah, it was Saturday.
Oh, like
Yeah, like
what
50s, 60s.
What the hell?
I was
You
there,
would
like-
never get that for MAGFest.
I was there like the week earlier. I finished my tour actually in DC right before New Year's Eve, and when we were there, it was like 10 degrees. So then it switched like a week later. Come back, it's fucking 60.
100% of the times I have seen snow were at MAGFest. Every single one.
Yeah.
I do not miss the years that we would get like major storms during MAGFest. I can remember the one that was the year that Tina's hand got fucked up on the wheelchair, and we were at a hospital until like 3 a.m, and we had no way to get back. None of the taxis and Ubers were running because of the weather. Our friend John came to the hospital in his shitty beat up pickup truck with no heat, and we just rode back through the icy roads.
I was going to say, that was the year of the ice storm, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was gnarly.
There was one year, I remember it getting down to like 13 or something, and then it was the year Adam was driving back to North Carolina. His truck broke down halfway home, and like there wasn't really much for him to do except for to call a tow truck to get him somewhere. But he was out in the middle of nowhere, so he just like laid down in the truck and tried to take a nap. But it's freezing. He covered himself up. He told me he like lit a candle. I guess he had a candle and was trying to stay warm via candle, which I find it's sad, but it's also funny because it's this giant Viking trying to warm himself with a candle. And just when he was getting ready to fall asleep, a big 18-wheeler would come by and just like shake the truck or whatever. Anyway, so like a cop came and talked to him and like let him sit in his car and like get warm. And then he had his freaking truck towed to North Carolina. Anyway, it was a lot nicer this year, is the moral of the story. Like super nice. I had that chicken for the first time. What's that place called?
Nando's.
Nando's, yeah.
Nando's. I never had it. It's been there forever, but everyone always talks about it. But I never leave the building. I never go anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't like have a reason to go until someone's like, "Let's go to Nando's." So I went, and it was you know what? Nando's is all right.
Yeah, it's
I will say.
Yeah, it's fine. It's food.
It's food.
I'm sad we didn't get our 2 a.m. checkers this year, Grant.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll have to make up for that.
Yeah.
At some
I didn't
point.
even get to see Tony at all this year. He was so busy.
I know, dude. I'm sorry.
You and all your cronies, it was always in passing. It was just a line of people in dress. Like I saw Max. I only saw Max in passing. I at least get a hug in with Max. I saw him for just like 2 seconds. Also, it was really funny because I guess what was it? You were surrounded by Arkadian and Danimal. Is that the like that was your sandwich? So like we're doing our meet and greet, and then we're almost done with our meet and greet. And just here, Beardo goes like, "Is that Flick's voice?" It's like, yeah. And then he's like, "Is that Norg?" He's like,
oh yeah, dude.
Is that Viking guitar? Is that Eric Peabody? I was like, he knew everybody that was doing voices for the video. It was just very funny,
hilarious.
No,
so we're all basically, I basically used all the same voice actors that I used in Bike Kid 2000. Yeah. So it has Flick, has Norg, has Alexander Brandon.
Oh yeah, that's
doing
right.
a bunch of stuff.
Right.
Yep. Eric, Viking guitar, and Frank Lepacki doing a bunch of voices as well.
Oh, gotcha. Cool.
Volunteer for your next one.
It was one of those things where if you you may not be able to see all the bands that are playing the same time as you or just before you or just after you, but I do feel like it's like going to battle. I remember last year I was playing XP. John and I were playing XP the same time as somebody. And we were hanging out before our shows, and then we just sort of bro-fisted is like, all right, have a good fight. And we all go and battle in different parts of the building and then meet back up to see how well we did. It's pretty awesome.
Domination.
Totally. It's a good reason to have to miss music just because you're making music, It's cool.
Yeah,
it's an honor.
I was really looking forward to the Crush 40 set, and that was actually during our rehearsal time, so I was really bummed I missed that. But
totally. I walked by. I saw like a piece of it or something when we were just before or just after. I don't remember what song it was, but people were screaming.
Yep. Dude, I did the mix. I did the mix on it. So Johnny's a visual guy. I think is editing the video. I did the mix. It sounds great, and the audience mics, it's like everybody in that room was just singing the songs start to finish. So it was a blast. We couldn't hear any of that, of course, right? Because we were all on in-ears. So it really actually kind of surprised everybody when I used a lot of crowd mic in that mix. So hopefully it'll be up soon and you guys can check it out. But yeah, it was surprising.
Yeah, that whole show was just 100% perfect. There was zero notes. So I have my poor cousin. She's younger. She's in her 20s, and she's obsessed with Sonic the Hedgehog because as you do. And last year, she got to come here and she got to see Ian Flynn and Kyle Krause, which she thought was a big deal. And I'm like, he has a podcast? What? But then this year, she got to see Crush 40, so she's in the front of the stage, just dying the whole time. And then she got out of there and she's like, I don't have anything left on my bucket list. That was it. You just chalked off all my bucket list items.
She can die now.
Yeah.
The only thing I think we should have done was do 2 more songs. We were actually, I don't know why this happened this way, but I think we were scheduled for 60 minutes and we ended up being done after 45 minutes. So we easily could have done 2 more songs.
Oh, wow.
But Johnny's a great guy too. He was very positive, good spirits. Really, he was just really happy when we did our rehearsals. I had no idea how I was gonna fess out. I was trying to make sure that the band really knew their shit, before we all got together. But he was great.
Yeah, his stage presence was just so professional, and he came out. He knew how to work the crowd. I don't know how many things that guy has done live ever, right? I've only just ever known him as the Sonic the Hedgehog guy, and he came out and he just immediately knew the assignment, obliterated the whole thing. Just 10 out of 10, excellent.
Yeah, that's why it was clean, climbing the freaking scaffolding like a monkey.
That's why I was so bummed I didn't get to see Johnny sing in that context, because my knowing of him is I have Hardline, the first Hardline record on vinyl, and I actually saw him when I was a kid when he was singing with Axel Rudi Pell back when I was living in Germany. And so This was the only other instance where I was like looking forward to seeing him live, because like, yeah, I'm familiar with the Crush 40 material and stuff like that, but like to hear it live is a totally different scenario. So I was bummed that I missed that, but I am looking forward to the VOD, and hopefully there's like another opportunity where I can see him. So
yeah, there might be. We'll see.
That's what I'm hearing
for you, Tony.
Yes, sir.
What are the differences between doing a stage show like you do with Trans Siberian Orchestra and what you do with the Tiberian Suns and the show you put on at MAGFest, which was very well choreographed in terms of AV experience with the visuals? Who helped with the visuals?
So how we did it was because only Max and I have actually played the Ace Combat games. The rest of the band has not. They just really like the music. I was kind of the one to like piece together the video, or like at least the initial version of the video. So it's so funny. So Emily came up to us after we played at MAGWest in 2024 and was like, I want you guys to put on a whole concert for Ace Combat music, because she loves it too, and we're just like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And like and so I sent out a message in the Discord. Everybody had already gone to the airport, and I was just hanging around because I was just driving home, and Max wrote a fucking initial script, like a draft 1 on his plane ride home right that same day. So Max came up with a lot of the initial ideas and kind of selected some of the new songs that we ended up arranging and putting in the show. But because I'm not a fucking writer. The best I can do is put these things together in video and watch them and see if they work or not. So, I would try like Max's ideas and put clips, in the right order, and then just be like, no, that doesn't seem to work. So let's try something different. So basically over the course of like a long period of time, I was going through this thing, and eventually I kind of just made the initial 90-minute cut by just taking notes of the games, figuring out what I wanted to include from the storylines. I knew like each act was going to be about roughly 30 minutes. And then so I basically just put all the gameplay and the cutscenes in the right order from start to finish, and then and just be like, all right, this is what the story is going to look like. And then I handed that off to Nate, and Nate did all the fancy stuff, all the fancy visuals, all the glitchy stuff, all the cool things. And Nate, not having played the games, was able to come at it with the perspective of like, he doesn't exactly know what's going on, so he's going to try to augment that through the visuals and tell more story. And so he would go through if there's like the problem with Ace Combat and trying to tell a story is that so much of the story basically happens over the radio comms. It's almost like a radio play that happens while you're just fucking blowing up targets. But so much of it happens just over radio, so it's kind of hard to tell visually like what is actually happening. And we knew that there would probably be a lot of people in the concert that had never played the games, and that was kind of like a target demographic for this show. Is we wanted to kind of like make sure this was like people who had never played the games before could like follow it
and understand,
and like. Yeah, and kind of tell what's going on. So every time that there was an action that was happening on screen, I think Nate went and found like a clip and tried to make it look like that was happening. So like in Unsung War, which is like the 4th or 5th song, it's like the player team has to rescue the president basically from the castle, and Nate actually found clips of the president getting onto the helicopter, which I had completely missed. And that doesn't actually happen in the game. right? Like all the story during that mission just happens over the radio. But adding that in where you can actually see that the president's getting onto the helicopter when he says he is does help for people to kind of like follow along, because there's definitely so much happening with that show that it would be easy for people to get lost if they were just trying to pay attention to the captions. Yeah, so the my effort was arranging the music and then putting together I just call it the storyboard, which is the basic footage. Nate did all the fancy visuals, and then like John Stacy spent like he there was a lot of labor on him putting together the charts for the strings and the brass, and it took him a really long time. So like the three of us, I think, was most of the labor for that project. I did actually take a lot of cues from Trans Siberian Orchestra and how we do things live, and how specifically we do like click tracks and stuff. So like all the songs that we played were to click track, but I made them dummy proof, to where not only would it be just like a click track, which is just always in people's ears, that's me snapping to pretend to be a click track, but there would also be like cues that are like fire young man, 1 2 ready go, and then the song starts, and then guitar solo ready go, and violin solo ready go. So knowing that like this is gonna be the first time that anybody's ever played this, like it's going to be really easy for people to get lost. So I tried to put in as many cues as possible so that it was pretty obvious about what was happening.
So you were the pre-director for what happened by setting up all the cues.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just know that like, even as hard as I'm going to practice it, I'm going to fuck some things up. So just having those cues, just helps you again like dummy proof it. If you get like it's easy to get lost, and cues will keep you right on target.
All right, now the good question: who fucked up the most?
Oh, don't make me answer.
You
that.
did.
Grant, John,
no.
Your bands. Who fucked up the most?
It was.
I just dive on the grenade and admit it was you.
I would actually say I will say. Probably one of us in the band probably fucked up the most. I'm not going to say who it is. One of us in the band. I will say that the strings and brass actually did quite a good job, but they also were reading their parts. So that is different than practicing and having to memorize the music.
Yeah.
But overall, because they had they did a good job. They did a really good job. So I'm mixing the concert right now, and it's sounding, I'm pretty excited with how it's turning out.
I've heard some bands like to sweeten their recordings from like band live or conventions and live events. Mm-hmm. Do you ever sweeten things up with Tiberian Sons, or are you just like, whatever we did live, let's fucking go?
Yo, yeah, that shit happens all the time, dude. I have sweetened some things, and I probably will on this one. The biggest problem that the biggest obstacle I'm running up against is that there's so much drum bleed in the strings and the brass that there's I'm having to come up with a lot of weird tricks to try to get the drums out of those microphones. So that's the biggest obstacle. But I've done I've figured out some good tricks to really minimize it, so it's a lot easier to mix. But no, I'm actually finding I'm not really having to edit anything, hardly.
Very cool, John.
Yeah,
Grant, what about you two? Any sweetening up over there? No, Grant sweetens up for me before he comes on the show.
I mean, yeah, that's usually I would say it's probably a normal thing to do, because sometimes the audio that you get from the stream or from the performance, there's got to be like a few things here and there that need to be tweaked. Like, for instance, both instances that I performed at MAG, my guitar is like, the output of it is usually lower than it should be. And I think that's just because of how I set up my effects unit. So, sometimes, we can have control to like boost some stuff up. or, you know, maybe we want to hear, you know, certain things here and there, or, you know, we had some instances where, you know, we had some mics that just didn't really present themselves as much, so we just kind of cut some stuff out. But yeah, stuff like that.
And John had a issue with his wireless for whatever reason at this particular show. It would do this thing where it would cut out for just a fraction of a second, pretty regularly, like once or twice a song. So it'd be kind of like that, like just enough that when he's taking a rip and solo, it sounds you could hear it. So I would smooth over those breaks and stuff, because it's like you're not going back and recording the whole thing or anything. You're just kind of fixing what it is. It's part of the polish, I think. So like. Yeah, there's a little bit of that. And then for Rebecca's set, which was, you know, we were four bros on stage, plus an Ian and Carrie, and Rebecca Sugars was 15 inputs, 15 people. And like that, we talk about bleed. Tony and I already talked about this, but Rebecca is a soft-spoken singer. We sort of pulled her back to the center of the stage because we kind of wanted to be like an arc sort of around her, sort of envelop her in the band. So she's closer to the drum kit, and then it's Roger Reckadam on drums. So I have never heard so much drum bleed through a vocal mic in my entire life. Like it was insane. It was almost like I was listening to an overhead. And so you got to do like work to fix that kind of stuff, you know? So yeah, there's always things that have to happen to make sure it's good, but in terms of just like, you know, replacing instruments and you know, I don't judge anyone for how they do it, but I can tell when it's been done, so I don't enjoy it as much. I kind of like the fallibility and the things getting a little fast or slow or whatever. I kind of enjoy it watching a live show. But if it's just wrong or something is wrong, that kind of sucks. You know,
yeah, if it's really painful to listen to, you should probably fix it. Probably take care of it. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I'm actually finding, so like when we did our show, we used we had like my original arrangements and stuff, and like sampled strings and sampled brass playing in addition to the live stuff. Now as I'm going back through this, I'm finding that when I do mix in the sampled stuff, it doesn't sound right, and I'm actually ended up not using it. So like our strings and brass sound good enough, and I've been able to mix them in such a way where it's like, okay, maybe I just won't use it. So then what I ended up doing was going back through the songs and just like exporting the same versions of the tracks without the strings and brass. So it's got like percussion and choir and woodwinds, but no strings and brass. So that's what I'm ending up putting in the mix. But it's going to be totally like live strings and brass in our mix. Which I think is great and maintains like the human performance element, and still like, you know, captures authentically like what happened on that stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to be like entertaining while still providing like, hey, this is human performance. That's exactly.
One day I'll learn how to be entertaining.
You'll get there, I believe in you.
Just keep shitting on Jacob, it'll be fine.
That was one of the things even at EDC, because I went to EDC, and like EDC is just all DJs, right? It's just all DJs all the time, and you'd expect like some of them have to phone that in, right? But some of them messed up. Like some of them didn't do the transition right, or some of them are doing a manual drum machine, and you can tell, and that just makes the whole performance better. Like the nuance, the fact that I'm not listening to just like AI garbage, whatever.
Yeah, I don't want a flawless performance. I want a human touch to it. I want, you know, bends and changes and different inflections on words. I don't want exactly what I hear on a CD to be.
You want the live authenticity.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it also depends on the music and expectations. Like for the Rebecca show, yeah, I don't know how well knows this, but like she came down with a respiratory infection on Monday before the show, and we're like, oh crap, like, oh wow, and she beat it back and did really well. A couple times in a couple songs, got real scratchy and kind of bowed out, and then, you know, would like motion to have the crowd sing if they knew the lyrics, and people like her crowd specifically really enjoys that, loves humanizing this like this hero, right? Like she's like me, she makes mistakes. Like there's kind of that attitude. But there's also some times I think where like bands that are kind of like I call it like computer metal, but super sort of edited together, really almost like dubstep level of metal, and then they play live and it's not as tight or as powerful. And I understand that it's not going to be exactly the same live, but some people may not. Some people might be like, this isn't very good because it's not like I'm expecting it to sound, you know. So it may just depend a lot on the artist. But I like seeing mistakes because it's almost like it gives me permission to fuck up because it's gonna happen. You know,
that really stems back to our last episode with Matthew, because it's the same thing with wrestling botches and botchamania, where people love to see the human element of just making a flub or a line coming out wrong or a slip or a tumble. And when you add video game music, it's just that much better.
Truth. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the part of being a professional in any type of, you know, live entertainment, whatever, is just being able to do that like clever recovery, right? You know, you mess up, and maybe somebody notices, maybe somebody does it, and you use it to your advantage and roll out of it, and ta-da!
Yeah, you see some people mess up and they just like they get mad. Like, oh, come on. And then, you know, but if you laugh about your mistake, everyone laughs. You know what I mean? Like if you're having a good time, everybody's having a good time. So I don't know.
So speaking of having a good time, did anybody catch any fun panels this year at MAGFest?
DOD.
What happened at
That's
DOD?
basically the
Who won
only
this
panel.
year?
Oh, I actually don't know. I didn't participate. I just listened.
You didn't participate on a MAG one?
I know.
Wow.
But it was
letting other people
posts.
win. That's so nice.
It was shit posts, and
no.
you know, I was just kind of busy doing some other things. Joe,
what do you do in the holidays?
Oh, actually, it was non-competitive. It was a non-competitive shit post.
Huh.
So yeah, the powers that be that run DoD have decided, and probably reasonably so, that we're long past the time of having, you know, like 4-hour long listening parties for DoD. So for the past few years, it's become brevity. So it's just like songs that are like 60 seconds or less.
Yeah.
So then like the friggin' listening party is over in an hour, and like the DoD parties always happen, you know, like midnight, right? So it's probably the right thing to do. People can blow their load on a giant arrangement 11 other months of the year.
And you could get a lot done in a minute.
Yeah.
No, anytime we go from
people would say a minute's a long time.
Were you talking to my wife again? When we go from like an interview segment to a news segment or a review segment, I will routinely use Grant's version of Contra from DoD. That's the entire soundtrack in a minute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one rules.
That was the first brevity month.
So much. Such a perfect song.
It's really funny how like that track probably took as much work as a 6-minute song, but it's a minute long. I think, which can happen. That can happen, right? I remember Eric being like, "We should play that in the Viking guitar band," and I was like, "Just so you know, the level of effort involved in learning that song is probably the same as learning a 7-minute song." So, up to y'all. But I don't know. I'm a big fan of Brevity Month. I think so. Tony, wasn't it like Brevity Month was originally during MAG and then they moved it forward, right? That's for January now. Isn't that how that works?
I think it used to be that December leading up to MAGFest was like the big old month that everybody would, you know, drop their, you know,
yes,
big old masterpieces.
Yeah.
For MAGFest, for listening party. And then like, but because like sometimes MAGFest happens like, I think because it tends to happen like on the first week of January, then they would just have the rest of January, like a shorter month, just be brevity. But yeah, so that's how it used to be. But now everybody's like, yeah, let's just do brevity for MAGFest and go to bed early.
Yeah, right.
Which I can get.
It's just not another 14-minute song starting at 5:30 in the morning or whatever.
Guilty.
That's how it goes.
Oh man, I forgot that those days existed where those DoD listening parties would stretch into the early morning.
Yep.
You're bored at 4 in the morning. You're like, I wonder if DOD's still going to go down there and get some like 6-hour-old pizza.
Chef Boyardee back in the day.
I did metal this year for the first time, so that was a big win.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only panel I did this year was my own. Like I did my own panel, which was Lumberjacks. I was very happy I got to use Lumberjacks in this economy as the title. We are planning on using 25 years of jacking it for next one. 25 years of jacking, right? That was a good hour-long event. Honestly, I think I'm going to try to apply for 90 minutes next year.
Yeah.
I feel like
with
with how many people we had on stage, we got through 4 questions.
Yeah, it was a really good one. This one, I've been on 3 or 4, I guess, but this one for some had like a flow to it.
It went.
You could have
really
gone.
well.
You could have gone another 30. Also, like, I feel like you need to mount those badges somewhere prominently, so they're you can see them. Tony,
that's what I was saying.
Tony, did you hear about that? The badges for every mag.
No.
So this year, Joe, I didn't know you had them, but you have a badge from every mag, right?
Yeah.
Every one.
Yep.
So he brought them and laid them out on like the panel table, and everybody could come up and look at them afterwards. It was awesome. It's like a
Sweet.
museum piece. Like I think my first was 6, and so I had never seen. I think 7 or 8 was the one that had like the Half-Life one, so it was kind of like plastic.
8 was Half-Life.
8 was Half-Life. Yeah.
Yep.
So-
7 was the 7th Fest.
That's right. 7th Fest. That's right.
Yep.
What was 6?
6 was Final Fantasy 6.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Yeah. Before I got on here, I
Probably.
wanted to remind myself of all those things, so I went and grabbed all my badges and all my programs and stuff to remember what everything was.
That's right, because I have the shirt for 6.
Yeah.
But that was cool to see. You should like at least photograph them really nicely and give them to the museum
I think the museum has a set.
display. Do they? Oh,
Most
I
likely.
believe so.
that would
They
make
used
sense.
to.
One is Vert. You have Verts from one of the years. I remember it said Vert on it.
No.
No, he just wrote his
Does it
name.
not?
He just wrote
He just
Bert's
wrote his
name
name
on
on
it.
it.
You just wrote Vert on it?
Underneath
Okay.
that says JK Joe Cam.
Vert Cam.
I started doing that too. I used to start writing Systemaniac and Deluxe and stuff on my badges too.
The one is autographed by the mini bosses, though.
Sick.
I have my MAGFest 10 Super Supporter badge signed by the Earthbound Papas. That's in the little shadow box.
No, that's awesome.
Nice. Because
hell yeah.
I've got supporter badges from, I want to say, like 7 through 9, but I did not have them autographed by the Earthbound Papas. Kudos, man.
I haven't really gotten any kind of autographs at MAGFest in ages. Like it's just because I kind of know everyone now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Be that
I'll give
way.
you an autograph, Joe.
Oh, thank you.
But you got to give me your autograph back.
I will.
Plot twist, they give each other dinner bills.
He's thinking about it.
So since we're
My first
talking
few
about the
MAGFests,
shows,
I got everything signed. Like everything. I have Houseworks signed. I have the Power Glove first DVD signed. I have like everything I could buy, everything I could get signed. I did because like I didn't know I was ever going back. I didn't know this thing was going to exist next year. You know.
yeah.
Totally. That's great.
John, do you have physical CDs that you could sign?
Yeah, I do. Well, actually, no, I don't. I sold all of my CDs at Mag.
That's right.
How dare you?
Every single one of them. That made me cry on the way back. That was awesome.
How
That is
dare
awesome.
you be so successful?
What else did you do at Mag? Didn't you have a performance?
I think so. If I recall, no, I think so. I think you were there. Were
I
you
was
there?
wasted.
Is that at MAGFest?
Wasted.
Were we at? Was that Mag? Wait, did MAGFest just happen? Sorry. I got to perform main for the first time. This is my second Mag like total, and it's it was I kind of mentioned this when we had talked about like Mag happening, but this was kind of a long time coming. Like I've been trying to get on doing anything Mag related for probably 7 years now, and it was just kind of like mostly just finances, and then also just didn't really feel like the right time to do it. And so this one was really special to kind of do it on like the year of the 10th anniversary of Arkadian stuff. So this was really cool. I tried really hard not to cry, and I cried at least twice. So
wait, you've only been to MAGFest one other time?
Yeah, 2025.
Whoa.
I know.
Man, you're at all the other cons, so I just kind of assumed that.
Yeah. Well, so that's the thing, because those were the only ones that I knew that I could get booked at the time. Because I've tried coming to MAG and it just never happened.
Yeah, I know. It's like we all know how pain in the ass it is.
So yeah, the beginning, like the first convention I did was PAX East 2018, and that was like I was talking with Emily about this because she didn't really know, just because of the whole story around it. But she was the stage manager at the first convention I ever played at, and we met super briefly. But it was because he was picking up Jules from the airport. He literally like just landed like 40 minutes before he had to get on stage, and we were opening up for him.
God.
So that's what was going on during that whole time. But Rob Carballo, who at one point was in charge of talent booking for MAG, like he had tried getting me on to some capacity for a while, and it just never worked out. So he actually texted me a couple weeks before MAG, just like, I guess, apologizing about all that. And I'm like, bro, like you have nothing to apologize for, because it honestly wouldn't have been the right time regardless. So I'm glad that things happened the way that they did, and like everything kind of felt like, full circle moments, like closing of like previous chapters and then starting new ones now. So it was a pretty emotional week. I didn't really get to do a whole lot of like hang time except like in my room. With the exception of maybe like the first day I got there. Liz was with me, so this was kind of her first convention ever, and I kind of kept a lot of this stuff under wraps. Like I kind of explained to her like what it was, but she didn't really get the full picture. So I was going back and forth on like whether or not I wanted to take her to this one, because I know how hectic it can be. And
it's crazy.
It's crazy. And I think she'd be okay with me saying she crashed out the first night, which was totally fine. But after that, she had a good time. So,
we've all crashed at MAGFest.
You've got a hell of a drive to get up here too, don't you?
Yeah, we drove. I did the same thing last year too, but it's about a 20-hour drive for me. So, but I was also
2 days or 3.
We did it in about 2 days. So we started Tuesday night. And we made it about like 5.5 hours, and then the bulk of the drive was on Wednesday, and then we got in like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning on Thursday. So we were there like right when day one was starting. But then, what was I going to say? I just completely lost my train of thought. Sorry.
I've driven it.
Oh, yeah. I usually drive because half the time I'm bringing like a fuck ton of gear. So in this case, I was bringing 6 guitars with me. And one of them was getting donated for the auction. So, but Ian and Carrie were borrowing my equipment for pretty much the whole weekend.
Yeah, I've driven it twice from Florida, and I don't recommend it for anybody. It's a rough job, especially in the wintertime, right? Like you got to go through all those icy roads and stuff, and then coming up from a place where it's not iced already. It's a trek. I can't even imagine doing it with a bunch of equipment and stuff.
Some roads is so dangerous. Really, fuck ice.
Last year was I was a little hesitant, or just kind of like cautious about the drive, but it wasn't really that bad because it was all on the highway. So all those roads were cleared for the most part. But what I like about the drive is I'm going through Arkansas, the entirety of Tennessee, Virginia, and then Maryland. So just kind of seeing the scenery change as I'm driving is gorgeous, especially when it's during the winter. Because like Virginia had like snow on the hills, and just like the overall landscape changing as I'm like listening to whatever is on my 50+ hour road trip playlist is like amazing. So that's I drive to VGM Con as well if I can, and that's a shorter drive for me, but I've been lately I've been really enjoying the road trips to these conventions rather than because I get to see, a bunch of other stuff. I can take detours if I want to and that stuff. So
you can bring whatever you want.
really
You can have a van available if we want to go play pinball at VGM Con. It's kind of someone with a car.
That's true.
I like it.
And if I want to kill a fuck ton of people.
Yeah, if you want to kill eight able-bodied men.
The most talented people in our community.
John almost killed a whole bunch of VGMers in his van
I
going to play
invented the
pinball.
J turn.
You mastered the J turns. What you did. Anyway.
Yeah,
we all
I'm the
survived.
Rodney Mullen of J turns.
Oh my god, we did great.
Thanks,
The
man.
VGM equivalent of the day the music died.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's funny enough because I was like the second time I took the road trip to VGM Con, I passed by the surf ballroom and I'm like, it kind of reminded me of like, oh yeah, I should go check that out. And then thinking about pinball and circle, it's funny that you mentioned that because that's literally what I thought the last time I was like, oh yeah, we almost died.
So I'm guessing most of you are going to VGM Con this year?
That's my plan, at least for right now.
Correct.
Yeah, I've got everything booked.
I have to skip it this year, unfortunately. I'm going to be on a cruise.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah,
Sounds
you are.
horrible.
I'm sorry.
What kind of
I got
cruise you
my
going on?
lifetime
It's the
membership.
Monsters of Rock cruise.
Holy
Playing with
shit.
Jeff
Yep.
Scott Soto.
Oh,
Nice.
dope.
Oh yeah, I do it most years.
Damn.
Last year I didn't do it, but then I did a 70K cruise with Power Glove last year instead.
I was going to say, didn't you do it with Power Glove? But I guess that was a different one.
How much of your own gear do you bring for this one?
Just by bass and pedals.
Pace and pellets, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's all backline.
Cool.
Goodness.
Yeah, right. Cool.
Is anybody concerned the world events are going to interfere with VGM Con this year?
I think it's not unreasonable to think that it could, but they're not. They've posted messages. They're like, we're on track. Like, we're not canceling anything. Like, we'll see what happens as we get closer.
Yeah, and I mean, the
No.
progress that I'm seeing politically this week is promising as well.
It's a
Yeah.
ways away, so it's
You
like,
know, we had,
you know.
you know,
It's drastically far away from anything that's going on in this area
Yeah.
of cities.
yeah, it's 10 miles from downtown, which is good as well.
John, I
but-
think your mic's getting
It's
all
not fun.
funky.
Yeah, that might be me.
Someone's just.
funky.
Is anyone hearing like it getting like all glitchy?
And I heard
Yeah,
Sirius.
like-
I don't know if it was coming from me.
Oh, that's got to be me. That's got to be me. I'm multitasking.
Don't multitask. That's naughty. Don't do that.
But yeah, no, but VGM Con I think it's not in Minneapolis, it's in Plymouth. So you're not it's outside of the metro. So you're not really anywhere near that stuff. Now, there's another convention closer, I think it's in Bloomington, called 2D Con. I consider it their sister convention. They do a lot of like unplugged events, and like they've already been making kind of the same announcement because like I can't be more proud of that entire community of people down in the Twin Cities just kind of coming together during this fucking rough time. So
I'm still undecided if I'm gonna do it. The world situation really gets my nerves up, especially if I'm gonna have to be taking a long train ride. Because fuck if I'm gonna fly now. I didn't want to fly before.
fair.
Now? Oh hell no.
well, you got people that are going to brave it with you if you decide to go.
That's what they're counting on, man. That's what they're counting on. They're counting on you just sitting there, not creating media, not enjoying yourself, huddling in your house. They're counting on you not being the big voice. You can't. I mean, I understand the anxiety behind not wanting to be involved.
It's a very
What
long
they're
train
counting
ride.
on is no one to stand up and kick them in the nuts.
Oh, yeah.
That's what
True.
they're counting on.
I
Because
don't like my balls getting kicked. It's not fun.
Well, you're supposed to be the one doing the kicking, you dipshit.
Not to take this even farther for you, Joe, but they're about their facility about 2 blocks away from my house. So it's getting rough out here too. So regardless, you got someone that'll hunker down with you if you need that.
You mean the
Very
big
good.
racist facility, or? Do you mean the big racist facility is 2 blocks from you?
Yeah, there's an ice facility
wow.
that's like not too far from my house that they established. I think about 6 months ago. Pretty much like right when I moved here.
Damn. I'm sorry. That sucks.
It is what it is.
Your foot must hurt so much from kicking people in the nuts. Jesus.
I keep my peace. I'm a pretty, calm guy. I try to steer clear of that stuff, but it's gotten pretty close to my area, and it's been a little scary, especially since we have a kid. But yeah, it is. Not much you can do.
I mean,
there are things you can do, but I won't get into that.
France, over the many, many years France has existed, has shown us many times that there are things you can do.
True.
And France is really good at it. We really just need to invite all the French here. They'd solve problems real quick.
I'm just another worry I have with going to VGM Con is the weather. Because it's in March?
Oh god, it's gonna be horrible shit.
Sometimes
it's March or April this year. April. Even so, that's still plenty of time that you could get snow and ice, and fuck ice at this point, really.
I would have thought it'd be raining and probably warm by that point, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say
the
like
last few times I went to VGM Con the last 2 or 3 years, it was colder than MAGFest. For me, anyway.
There's at least flurries, like not snow sticking to the ground, but there's at least you can see snow.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's sort of like a running gag that there's always snow.
There were flurries the year I went.
Flick was
I don't remember it being cold, but I also just stay inside the whole damn time. So
Flick was saying the year before I got there was, I guess, the same year you went, Joe. Is there was like a blizzard, like a super blizzard, the day before. And there was like 3 inches of snow, and they turned the heat all the way up. And then, like, the day of, it warmed up and all the snow melted away, but they couldn't get it cooled fast enough because people are coming in, and the heater was already on. So the whole time, it was just like 80 degrees in there, and everybody's sweating.
Yeah, that's a story.
Yeah, it can get really weathery there.
That's crazy. Holy shit. I would have thought by March, everything be generally kind of temperate, maybe a little nippy at most.
Minneapolis is kind of north. You know that, right?
Yeah, basically Canada.
Yeah.
Still, it shocks me. I just assumed the weather was generally solid throughout the U.S.
Yeah, I mean it's
March
Midwest,
is actually the coldest
still
month in Florida, for me anyway.
It's warm in Florida.
I'm telling you, man.
Have fun with your humidity.
It's gonna be 24 on Sunday. My poor pineapples are not gonna make it. But we haven't had snow, but I've had frost and ice and stuff, which is insane to me. I grew up in Miami. Like this is ridiculous.
Really, fuck ice, right?
Yeah, in every format, it's terrible.
Well, I liked ice beverages. That's about it. Everything else, ice could fuck off.
Yeah.
Snow isn't ice though. That's the key problem.
So
Mag was fun.
Yeah, Mag was a good time. I figure we've been chatting for a while. Let's go down the list. We could give our favorite memory of MAGFest for the year, and we could wrap up this chat. Scott, you're at the top of the list.
I think I'm at the top. Thank you very much.
Okay, Aki, what was your favorite MAGFest memory this year?
Sleeping.
Taking a month off.
Well, yeah, that was pretty great too.
Scott, what was your favorite memory from MAGFest this year?
So I got buddies in Bard City, and they started last year doing a roast of D&D characters because they're a D&D themed band. I missed it last year because I think it coincided with Bit Brigade, but I was able to make it this year. I didn't know if it was going to be any good because I don't play D&D. I don't know if it's like, I would have enough knowledge for the jokes to land. And, I was pleasantly surprised, especially Vecna. He went off for 15 minutes straight and had that room rolling.
Oh,
I think they have video up. But yeah, that was a fun little surprise.
If anyone finds that
funny.
video, link it to me if you find it, because I really want to listen to that, because I do like D&D.
She got dice this week.
Yes, I did. They're great.
Ian, how was your MAGFest? What was your favorite memory?
Well, my MAGFest is pretty par for the course. You know, the concerts were good. You know, kudos to the performers in chat. Probably
We have performers here? What?
yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Where?
they play the
Just
music.
I can play pinball, and occasionally I sing and play guitar.
Yeah, that makes
I think what was a pleasant surprise for me was running in, like, if I don't know how many people are familiar with him, but running into Mikey from Legend of Evantris in the elevator, not realizing any of those guys were here, let alone having their own panel. And then after going to their panel, apparently they've been coming to MAGFest for a couple of years now. And I had no idea.
wow.
So it's like, oh, shit. You know,
This is the one that
Holy
we were
crap,
on the
that's awesome.
elevator and the guy stepped out and was like, have a good mag. And you're like, you two men. Wait, aren't you? Fuck,
Wait,
was that the guy?
Is that Mikey from Evantris? And then, like, the two girls that got on the elevator with us were like, I think it was. And then the dude getting on the floor. Well, the thing
I'm
was,
so
is that, like,
jealous.
in the time it took for me to recognize his face, look at his badge, see the name, and then process that together, he was already out the door.
I am
Like, it was literally
so
like a
jealous.
5-second mental equation, and then it just hit me. I was like, oh, shit. And then the guy that got on from his floor was like, yeah, him, his brother, and one of the other dudes is here.
Nice.
But yeah, Mikey, Richie, and Andy were panel. And the funny thing is that a friend of theirs who's actually like a lawyer and legal representative actually hangs with them on the panel to make sure they don't accidentally say something quote unquote wrong. Not that they're, you know, spitting hot takes or anything like that,
Yeah.
but just for legal purposes, they don't accidentally speak out of pocket about anything.
No. I think the funnest thing that I really did this year was when I went to go get my swag, because I saw how cool the swag was this year and I wanted to pick one up, finally try one. And the guy was like, do you want the case with it? And I was like, well, I was either going to get the case or the MAGFest Power magazine, and I'm in the MAGFest Power magazine, so I want to grab that as like a keepsake memento. But I had that to put on the shelf because, you know, Ian knows that we did an interview, a couple of us. Ian was like, I don't want to get involved, and he made a good choice.
I'm too much of a hipster.
But I'm still in the magazine, so I wanted to be in there. And the guy was like, oh, you're in the magazine. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, and the bad. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, look at that. It's the same total. You get the magazine and the case.
Nice. I wanted to get a copy. They sold out so quick.
The guy hooked me up, so that was nifty. I feel like my elder statesman status finally paid off and saved me $15 on a magazine. Tony, what about you?
Man, honestly, as we talked about earlier, there wasn't a whole lot I actually did end up doing.
What do you remember doing?
Well, no, I will. No, I obviously like doing the concerts was fun, although stressful in its own way. I think my favorite moment was basically just hanging out at the bar with my bandmates and like my girlfriend and Connor's girlfriend or Connor's wife rather, and just being like the first time I had felt like, oh, I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to stress out about shit for
That's great.
the first time in like 6 months probably at that point. And so I was just like enjoying the moment, and that was awesome for me.
Very nice. Doug, favorite moment at MAG this year?
Oh, there's so many. I mean, you saw me when I first got there, and I was kind of grumpy. just
Yeah.
spent that whole first day being grumpy,
I mean,
and a lot of it was
some of us have histories and know people with histories. So,
well, it's you know, I used to go to MAGFest, and don't make no mistake, MAGFest is like, it's basically our Woodstock, right? It's like we all form a community in this little atrium, and there's no other place like it for that time and space in the world, right? But it felt like to me like it used to be so much more. I used to see all these people that I would like to hang out with, and I still see a lot of people that I want to hang out with, but it's still like a small fraction of it, right? So just the idea of like the people that I did get to see this year, like I got to see Jeff Ball, I got to see Will, I got to see Danny B. Like I haven't seen those guys in forever. Was just it was so incredible, and I was so thankful and grateful. And on top of like, just like I said, like possibly one of the best music lineups ever. Like outside of Nobuo by himself, like every single band on every single stage, which is a banger. But
and
biggest
3 nights, all 3 acts from the Proto Men, which was a huge deal too.
Yeah.
And the Proto Man's coming back.
Oh, did they? Yes, they did, didn't they? Yeah, you're right. Forgot about that. But if I had to pick, so I have two big ones. The first one is going to be when Estelle walked out on Rebecca Sugar's set. I was just gobsmacked, just straight up. Estelle is such an incredible performer. There's no way I was ever going to expect that to happen, and I was just completely blown away by every part of that day of music. But that was insane. But the other one is I was up in Doug Perry's room with some other people, Will Roger and stuff like that. And like Doug Perry's roommate had to go to sleep, so they're kicking us out, and then we're all drunkenly going downstairs as you do. And I'm sitting there with Michelle, my wife, and Wilbert Roger, and Jeff Ball's there, and I'm talking to him, and we're waiting for one of the guys. I don't know the guy, but he's waiting for somebody to come out of the bar to talk to him. He's waiting for James to come out of the bar. I'm sitting there with my cousin, and that my cousin is wonderful because she's so young and so new to all of this, and she's just getting exposed to MAGFest in general. So everything that happens is like the most incredible thing she's ever experienced. So we're sitting there, we're waiting for James to come out of the bar. And James comes out of the bar, and it's James Rolfe. So he's just sitting in this circle. We're all having this conversation, and my cousin's like kind of being shy and not paying attention. And I lean over to him, and I'm like, "That's the angry video game nerd." And she's like, "Wait, what?" And then her face just glazes over, and she's just in awe. She's like, "I have to tell my friend. There's no way. He looks just like him. I have to tell all my friends right now."
He looks just like him.
I get to have all these like incredibly new, unique experiences through her because I'm jaded, right? I'm old and jaded. I back in my day, MAGFest was like this. So like moments like that are like super great for me.
Yeah, we're MAGFest boomers.
We are. Fuck.
Back in the day, we used to travel uphill through blizzards.
Or Doug, did you have a second one?
No, it was Estelle and James Rolfe. That was just excellent.
I thought they were like combined. All right, Grant, favorite memory.
Yeah, I will say that like your cousin getting to experience MAG sort of through your lens, like you just have all these people that make the show happen. So it's kind of like that's a really amazing way that I don't think she'll ever really truly appreciate how that kind of first time at MAG is rare for people. I think to kind of go like arm in arm with someone that just knows everybody. That's pretty incredible. So I'm sure she had a good time. I have a couple things. One, I like what Tony said about that feeling when you're done. I remember Saturday night after the Arkadian set was done, and I like finished playing, meet and greet, finished Siberian, went to my room real quick and was like, I had like 20 messages on my phone, and I was like, I don't want to look at any of these. And I just turned my phone to do not disturb. I just like
fuck yeah.
I gave myself permission to not have to respond to anybody. And I went and watched Danimal and came back and just fucking sat in my room and hung out with whoever might be in there. And then people came in and out, and I did miss some people I couldn't get up with on Sunday. But I've never done that for myself. Like give myself permission to just check the fuck out and not respond to anyone. So that was big for me. Second, because I just tend to like want to make sure everything's cool everywhere, and like I'm always checking my phone too much. The other thing was we played the Arkadian played Nightmare on Elm Street, and it was so awesome. Like that song is great, but when we were done, I remember it being super heavy and unhinged on stage, and we had strobe timing set and all this stuff, and it felt great. But in the mixing the audio, there's someone in the audience that's like what the fuck when the song was over, which is always a good feeling. So apparently Nightmare on Elm Street went over well. And the third thing is I got to pick something from each of the shows. It was actually during the Arkadian meet and greet. There's a Steven Universe Greg cosplayer that came by. He wasn't in costume, but he had me sign his Greg.
Yeah.
He had like a foam core guitar, and he had me sign it, and that was like a hugely moving thing for me. So that's
super cool.
And also, I had my first Midori Do or Midori and Mountain Dory.
Oh, Mountain Dory.
And that was pretty good too.
And we made the Nut Blaster this year too.
I didn't try one of those. I just heard you talking about it.
Good. It's pretty good.
That was all one thing, by the way. Just want you to know.
What else you got?
What? That's it.
Oh, okay. John,
Yeah, I
favorite
gotta
memory
say-
from this year?
Oh, never mind. You go.
Oh, no, go ahead, Doug. What'd you got?
I was gonna say, like, it was like 2 MAGFests ago or something like that. I was saying, like, well, I mean, one of those days you could always flex your guitar dad muscle. You didn't need to go so hard, man. You didn't need to flex the muscle so hard.
John, favorite memory from this year at MAG?
I think it was just getting to see everybody again and like getting to play this music on the main stage for the first time in front of an audience of that capacity was really cool. The like months leading up to it, I was kind of having like nervous breakdowns a lot, and it was weird. Like I get in my head a lot because I really just like appreciate this community and the culture and you know and all that shit. And so and you never know how the show's going to turn out, but like there were moments in the show where there were at least 4 or 5 people that were singing every single word to not only like Night Trap but like every single original tune, and that was crazy to see for me. And then also just kind of how the music like really impacts people in a positive way. I don't really like, I try not to take a lot of these opportunities for granted, but like that really kind of helped ground me a little bit in the importance of doing stuff like this, not just for myself, but for other people. And that's always what I've tried to do first and foremost. Yeah, and just being able to do it with Ryan and Adam and Grant it's been really great, and I'm trying not to cry right now, but I'm looking forward to hopefully some more opportunities with this, because that weekend was a blast. And then just seeing Rebecca Sugar and being able to kind of catch a little bit of other shows, and then getting to catch up with Ty Christian, the lead singer for Lords of the Trident, who I've known since like 2020. He's just such the coolest dude, and just it's always the music and then seeing people, always for me. So
very good. I'm gonna cheat and do another one. Wednesday, when I went down, like a week before, I jokingly posted in a MAGFest 21 Facebook group, who wants to watch Dynamite, AEW Dynamite, the Wednesday of Day Zero. And I didn't really think anyone would care, but, comments came in and some comments popped up. And then other people started asking, and I would get tagged like, this guy was saying that he might do something. So the day of, when we got our room, Day Zero, I went onto that post, posted my room number. I'm like, hey, we're going to watch 8 o'clock. Come on by. And we had, Ian, like 15 people in the room?
Yeah, I want to say like 15, 16 people.
And I didn't know any of them.
Yeah, we didn't know any of them. They're complete, total strangers.
Wow, that's fun.
Just all brought together by wrestling.
And video games.
Yeah, and the fact that Matthew was there was great, because people would walk in and they'd see him and be like, holy shit, are you Matthew?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, because people love
people that didn't immediately recognize him when they heard Botchamania. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Wait,
that's the guy that runs it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But it was a great year at MAGFest. I look forward to seeing all of you next year for the 24th event on the 25th year of MAGFest. Very excited, and perhaps VGM Con as well. So see you guys. Everyone going to be there next year?
I'm
got my stuff locked in.
Be there, yes.
Probably not. No.
Shut up,
I am
Aki.
very highly likely going to be at MAGFest next year. Yes.
Performing again, like 20 times.
Yeah, I just.
Do you already
This is me
have
now.
like the next 5 years of MAGFest lined up with different bands?
I wish, man.
I think Grant does.
No.
Just make a new
Manifesto,
band.
but no.
All
Just
I
make a new
know
band.
is next year, if y'all get to meet fucking Torbeck again, you better get me a goddamn autograph. I'm gonna be so pissed. I am so mad. You don't understand. I fucking love Legends of Vantis. Oh my god.
It's okay. Ian didn't realize it either. So
y'all need to get autographs next year. Lock the fuck in. Jesus Christ.
we have failed Aki in our MAGFest times. Well, anyway, we're going to take a quick break. I guess the fitting song would be to play Grant's Contra song that I always use for these. We'll be back with more show. We've got news and reviews we got to tackle with Bree and Aki's favorite person, Jacob, coming by for those. It was great chatting MAGFest with Scott, Ian, Tony, Doug, Grant, and John. Love you all. So glad you came on the show. I'm going to give everybody final words down the list, just like before. Aki, give me your final words.
Bucky Wucky Choo Choo Train.
Scott, give me some final words. Better than that one.
Happy to stop by for my annual checkup. But you forgot to put your finger up my ass.
VGM Con. Ian, final words.
Stay classy, yo.
Tony, final words.
Joe, I love you and miss you, but I don't miss your snoring.
That's fair. That is very fair. Bad. Doug, final words.
For everybody here and everybody out there, everything that you do is so very important. Just keep creating media and everything is going to get better.
Oh, thank you, man.
Grant, hit us with some final words.
I second that. Thanks for having me, Joe. Love you, buddy. MAGFest rules. And poo poo pee pee.
John the Arkadian, finish off the entire segment. Give us some final words to wrap this all up.
Joe, I love you. Tony, you kicked ass. I love you. Grant, I love you. Everybody else in this room, I may have not met you in person yet, but I also love you, and PGM is coming for you fucking all.
Coming for you fucking all.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for sticking around. Another huge thanks to the MAGFest crew for coming on, hanging out, keeping us company, chatting for a good 90 plus minutes. Aki, did you have fun?
I got to make fun of some people, so yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, you did get to make fun of people.
Yeah, and they weren't even there to defend themselves. It was even better.
Yeah. Someone's here now who wasn't there before. Bree's here. Bree, how are you doing?
All right. I ate too much food and I'm going to mute so I don't burp so much.
Should let them rip on air.
You say that every time, but it's never going to happen.
Bree, read the Declaration of Independence uninterrupted right now.
No.
So how's the weather for you two?
Cold.
I'm great. It's fantastic here,
Yeah.
but I'm near Vegas, so it fucking should be.
Yeah, I'm part of the East Coast area, so as I alluded to during the MAGFest discussion, our area got nailed with a foot of snow.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that we didn't get that much freezing rain because honestly, fuck ice at this point, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do that 4 times last night, Aki.
Hmm.
You did it at least once because I remember responding to it because it was good.
Oh, that's my running gag for the night. Hey, Jacob's
Fair.
looking at Hey, Jacob's finally here. Jacob, how's things going?
It's okay. Just got the kids to bed, finished pooping, you know.
Nice. How's the weather
Usual.
down by you?
Cold.
What are your thoughts
Supposedly
on
we're gonna get
freezing
more-
rain? Because
What are my thought-
I was saying how we got a foot of snow up here, but thankfully it wasn't freezing rain because, fuck ice.
Indeed.
Nothing on that.
My kids are still walking around, so I'm keeping myself vaguely clean.
Didn't you just say you put them to bed?
Yeah.
No,
I you literally just said that. They are
Well,
not
The kids to
behaving
bed.
well.
Huh, they're loose. Son of a...
Well, I said goodnight to them, and right now they're flossing and brushing their teeth. So
Ah.
I prefer the idea that you put them to bed, closed the door, walked away, and then they just wandered around.
that actually, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me really.
Dude, we were all kids. We all did that shit. Sleeping in mom's bed tonight. Laters.
I didn't do that
Oh.
mostly because my dad was like, "Hell no, I'm not sharing the bed with you."
Sure.
Yeah, it's true. I
want to
snore.
share it with.
I'd rather not think about that.
So, Jacob and Bree, you weren't here for the MAGFest fun.
Yeah, what did we miss?
You two ever gonna A, make it, or B, return?
At this point in my life, no.
No, yeah.
I will not. I will not be returning.
You don't want to bring your kids?
It's way too big. Which I know you're going to be like, that's what she said, but
No, she doesn't.
yeah, I know.
Bree, is it something you're ever thinking of considering?
It seems a little further away now because it's physically further away. I would have to fly in instead of drive. So that's a thing.
What about
I mean, I'm
VGM
interested.
Con?
That's a bit closer.
There you go. You could go to that one.
Where's that one again?
Minneapolis.
Oh, okay, it is. Yeah, that's like 5 hours away. That's
Oh,
easier
shit,
once
you
they
could
get a
go-
car.
Oh my god, I think they're still doing panels. Do you want to do a live episode?
Ooh, that
Just
would be
record it there. And we'll
Mm-hmm.
invite one of the bands on to chat with us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit up. No! Trivium Champ, thank you for the raid. Matt welcoming in everybody with his wonderful welcoming scream. Welcome in, Raiders. I hope everyone is doing well tonight. We were just chit-chatting a bit about the weather and about how much I'm not a fan of freezing rain. Just not a fan of freezing rain at all. Like, everything gets slippery, fall down a lot, bruises just out of nowhere, all because of ice. I mean, I'm not a fan.
No.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've stepped up my tactics on picking fights with people. I now because usually I used to just type in their name and arrest, see if they got arrested for anything embarrassing. And yeah, today anyway, today this one guy was just being an ass, and I found out that his wife died 2 years ago, and I was just
no.
oh man, good thing that she's not here to see what a piece of shit you've become.
Oh man.
Yeah, and then another guy, I found out that his kid got arrested for some really heinous stuff, and I'm just oh, is this your kid? Mr. Law-abiding citizen. So
Man, if they had feelings, they'd be so hurt.
I don't care if they do.
We got some news to tackle. We got some news and reviews. We do have a second half of this show that we got to take care of. I think the big rumbling of the week is there's word that Grand Theft Auto may be facing a new delay, but of a different kind. The talk is that the game will launch digital first with a physical launch later, presumably to help crack down on pre-release leaks and spoilers. Because, people love stealing the discs from manufacturing and transportation places. Those
Okay,
always
makes
pop
sense.
up on eBay. So what are your thoughts if they do go with digital first and then physical later?
Honestly, I think that's an interesting idea. I mean, if you are looking to crack down on that kind of stuff, it makes sense. That's a hell of a thing. I'll be honest. Ballsy. Grand Theft Auto is probably the only one that could pull it off, to be honest.
Honestly, I don't really care, but I also don't think it's particularly all that relevant to do it. I don't think that's something they really need to be all that concerned of, because even if people tell you the entire story, they're still going to buy it. There's absolutely no point of being like, oh, we want to make sure that these people can't get the information early. Like, everyone still bought fucking GTA 5. It doesn't fucking matter. It's
what about the
irrelevant.
people who prefer physical discs and they're stuck having to wait an extra 2-3 months? Who knows?
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
I would be real surprised if it would be like 2-3 months. Like, I could see like a 1 month thing.
No Pulse, it's going to be on 7 discs, right?
At some point, it very well might be. I mean, shit.
Comes shipped on its own Xbox expansion card. That would be an interesting way to sell an expansion card.
Yeah, have like the
Game
world's
pre-installed
largest
on
fucking
it.
game on it. Yeah.
I think that'd be interesting. Yeah, I don't know what to think of this. I would like, if they do go with this, I would like to see Rockstar offer some kind of program where people can like submit proof of purchase and maybe either get like a retailer's coupon in the mail or a deal through Rockstar's store for some kind of hefty discount on the game, or on a collector edition or something, some bonus for having bought it digital and then also getting a physical version for keepsake. Because people do that. That's why Limited Run exists. That's why fucking Baldur's Gate 3 has their physical edition. And that thing comes with 4 Xbox discs.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Full game
Holy shit.
installable from disc. Pretty crazy. So yeah, any other thoughts on GTA maybe going digital first?
No, I think their concerns why they're even doing digital first is just stupid and is unnecessary as hell. But of course,
I think it's very necessary.
People are going to buy the game anyways. It is irrelevant.
Okay, people bought the Harry Potter books anyway. Still didn't want people driving up at midnight yelling the fucking ending to you. Like, you want to experience that on your own.
Nah, wasn't relevant to me at all.
Ugh. The next big Gunpla movie that comes along, I'm gonna find the ending and spoil it for you.
It's Hathaway's Flash. There you go, and it's coming out here soon.
Anyway,
and you're more than welcome to.
Anyway, PlayStation Plus got the games for February announced. They've got 4 titles for their monthly offering, with Undisputed. That just a very odd decision to include that one. Boxing. Nothing.
Okay.
Like, no one's chatty tonight. Subnautica, Below Zero, Ultros, and Ace Combat 7 for the PS4.
Nice.
Subnautica sounds good.
Yeah, that's the only reason I said nice. Otherwise, it was like, whatever.
Ace Combat 7, good for the people who went to MAGFest and got to see the Tiberian Sun show that Tony talked about in the first half of the show. You could play some Ace Combat 7 and get into the series that captured Tony's heart. Virtual Boy will be hitting the Nintendo Switch Online on February 17th with the following games available day 1. Galactic Pinball, 3D Tetris, Teleroboxer, Virtual Boy Wario Land, The Mansion of Innsmouth, Golf, and Red Alarm. They will also feature rewind features and button configurations. In the future, they will have Mario Clash, Mario's Tennis, which, for being the launch title pack-in with the Virtual Boy, kind of shocked that's not in the first batch.
That's
Jack
weird.
Brothers, Space Invaders, Virtual Bowling, Virtual Force V Tetris, and 2 unreleased games, with Zero Racers and D-Hopper both coming to the service. Future update will also allow you to change the game's colors from red to like green or blue. It doesn't burn your eyes with fucking red.
Fair.
From what I hear, the little plastic headsets are already sold out. Shocker.
Fair enough.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Walmart has a Nintendo Switch Online promotional banner on their website with two interesting inclusions, as both Pikmin 2 and Metroid Prime 2 both appear on the banner, but neither have been announced by Nintendo for the online service. Nintendo announced that there are no changes to their announcements, and Walmart hasn't said anything, so who knows what the fuck's going on. I'm sure they'll come in like 2 years. Last bit of news I have, Dynasty Warriors 3 Complete Edition Remastered has been delayed indefinitely. No new release date announced. Yeah. It's bumped.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. Jacob, thoughts on that one? I know you're a fan of those.
To be honest, I'm not surprised with it. Like, I mean, I was looking forward to it because, I mean, like, Dynasty Warriors 3 was actually the very first one that I ever played in the series, but, like, looking at how much it's changed since then, and just, like, how huge the maps have gotten compared to, you know, playing it on, you know, my roommate's PS2 way back in the day. It's just, like, I don't know. Like, I could see them, like, having finished it and then being like, oh shit, we're going to charge $60 for this thing. And, like, there's nothing to it compared to, like, the modern ones that we already charge $60 for. Yeah. Like, nostalgia only rides so far on these kind of things. And, with like how freaking huge the maps get, I mean, like, you could spend like 10 minutes like running around and like you'll never run into another person as like you're trying to rush to save like the fort, you know, 5 miles away or whatever on horseback. And it's just, I don't know. I could see them like getting to, as I said, I could see them getting to a point where they were just like, shit, like, we can't charge $60 for this thing. I mean, it's kind of like how I wish that they would, you know, we'd get like an SSX game again, like in the vein of SSX 3. But the thing is that you can go down that mountain in like 15, 20 minutes tops. You know, if you want to, like, there's really not a whole lot to do. I mean, like, back then we thought that, like, you know, this was king shit. And, you know, how can video gaming ever get better?
Oh,
what's up?
I said your face is king shit.
No, I left that in the toilet and then flushed.
Oh, upper decker.
But, you know, it's just like, you realize, like, how tiny that mountain was way back in the day. I'm sure that, like, you know, they looked at Dynasty Warriors 3 and were like, crap. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I would like to do it again, but at the same time, like, I could also understand not returning to it ever again. You know, I mean, like, there's some titles that I wish that they would bring back, like the Fist of the North Star and the Gummy and the Gundam games. But, you know, I mean, we get, you know, it's like the Madden of Asian, of, like, you know, of Chinese history.
Yeah. Well, again, it hasn't been canceled yet. Their statement is that as the first remaster of the Dragon Warrior or Dynasty Warrior series, in order to fully satisfy our fans, we have made the decision to further improve the quality of the game. The new release date will be announced at a later date. So it's not like the game's canceled, it's just delayed indefinitely with no new date. I don't think they're scrapping it. I don't think this is going to be a Prince of Persia.
Well, we didn't get to that yet.
Didn't we talk about that last week?
No,
We did.
we did. Wait, was I there for it?
I don't know.
You might have
Are
been in
you
the
ever
bathroom.
here? I can't remember when people are here and when they're not here. I just hit
Yeah.
record and talk, man.
Oh wait, yeah. You know what? I was there for that. Yeah. Okay. Man, God, that was last Thursday. Jeez.
Yeah.
The world has changed so much in a week.
Honestly, I'm super confused because it's Friday and I was on a Tuesday show. So in the morning or something.
Yeah, things are all kind of
Afternoon.
fucked up this week.
Yeah, this week's been weird.
Yeah. Maki, what kind of news do you have?
Okay. Well, Ubisoft.
Oh, fuck, she has news. This is a weird week.
Yeah, I know. Ubisoft seems like it might be in a little bit of trouble. Apparently, a lot of its higher ups have been leaving, and after they split into the 4 little groups that had a whole bunch of games under them, their new restructuring, a lot of people have left, and one of those people is suing them because they basically fired the individual and then pretended like they left of their own willing, and so they're suing about that. And instead, the people who keep replacing these individuals all seem to be within the family. You know, the thing that all the investors were just the last couple of years being like, yeah, no, you need to sell it because you guys fucking suck. Well, yeah, it seems like nothing's changing there. So that's
yay.
fun. Yeah. And for everyone who is interested in Windows and stuff, well, as of this year, you know, that's barely existed, Microsoft has pushed out a bunch of updates made purely by AI that have broken Windows 11 numerous times. They have managed...
This is why I don't do any of the insider stuff on PC.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, no, these were proper full, like,
yeah,
standard updates. This got through whatever quality control they claim to have, and were pushed to everyone. They have managed to break the ability to turn off the computer. They've broken Notepad, Outlook, the calculator function.
Thankfully, I've had no issues.
Yeah.
I don't have Windows 11.
Yeah, it only happens to people on Windows 11 because that's the only place they've been pushing it. I don't know if Windows 10 gets updates anymore even. And they have also been going back and redoing some of these things, which has been breaking other things, trying to fix what the AI has fucked up. So, you know, that's great. Microsoft's been one of the major pushers of AI.
They lose like 350 some billion over AI so far.
Yes, the owner of Microsoft, the head person, he really wants AI, and their Copilot stuff, which is their AI crap, has been actively hated by users from the very beginning and has been costing them a ton of money.
Like,
and
please
Microsoft
embrace
knows this
Copilot.
and they don't care.
No,
yeah, and no one wants to. No one wants to,
Uninstalled.
so it's costing them a ton of money, and they still keep pushing it. And there should be a point where you just realize this ain't it, Chief.
Hey,
and
maybe
you
we
gotta
need someone
fucking
new
quit.
running the company. Oh.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Maybe this guy's
so yeah.
direction that's nothing but AI focused needs to change.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's my 2 pieces of news. Basically, the people in charge of 2 companies are fucking idiots.
Yay, Bree, what do you got?
I just have one thing, and it's kind of sad news.
Oh no.
Actress Catherine O'Hara passed away
Oh.
today at the age of 71. She did some voice acting for games like Chicken Little the video game, Disney Speedstorm. She also was in the TV adaptation of The Last of Us. You probably know her more from roles in movies like Home Alone, Beetlejuice, or the TV series Schitt's Creek. But yeah, that was some sad news.
Oh, I loved Catherine O'Hara. She was such an amazing actor.
Yeah.
Always made me laugh.
Oh yeah.
Anything she did with Christopher Guest and his movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one hurts.
Yeah. But that's all I have.
All right, Jacob, what do you got?
Well, I'm surprised that Aki didn't include this in her rambling about Ubisoft. So,
There's
the four
so much annoyance that I
so the four
forgot.
different companies that it got split into also have 4 different unions, and the unions are calling on all Ubisoft employees to go on strike the 10th, 11th, and 12th of February. because of the company's mandatory 5 days 5 days work in the office thing. They're going to be striking against that. Also, the fact that management keeps getting all these bonuses and like they get no respect. And on top of it, like Ubisoft just canceled 7 games that they were working on.
And then put another 6 of them. They were like, they're delayed. And I don't think any of the 6 of them got a listing to where they were delayed to. It was just kind of indefinite.
There was, well, I mean, the Prince of Persia remake got canceled and there was 6 unannounced titles. So we don't know what they were. And then there's a bunch that got pushed back. So yeah, in case you folks weren't aware, Backyard Sports is now back. If you go up on YouTube, you can watch the Backyard Baseball special. And if you're a fan of Major League Baseball, a number of teams are going to be having Backyard Baseball night. And the San Francisco Giants, specifically, on July 26th, are going to be giving away a bobblehead of Pablo Sanchez. So,
and if you have any other platform than an Xbox, you can get the games too.
Well, you know.
Yeah. It'd be nice if they released on everything.
Yeah, maybe one day, Billy. So also going along with baseball, MLB The Show 26 has announced its cover athlete. It's Aaron Judge.
Wait. Where is it? Where is it?
Yay!
There we go.
Good job.
Yeah.
Bluey is coming to Minecraft February 6th. Bluey's House DLC will be available on the Minecraft Marketplace, where you can explore the healer house, search for hidden keys, play mini games, and unlock new areas as you progress. So my kids are excited about that.
Yeah, your kids are.
I don't play Minecraft really.
Not you at all.
No, real like it's really my kids. I don't play Minecraft at this point. Yeah, they keep trying to get me into it, and it's just like
just too complex.
This shit. It's like part of it is that I play it on PC.
I don't want to fucking build things.
I mean, it is complex, but I mean, like the thing is that like it's just like there's way too much crap that goes on in it now. Like I had joined when it was an alpha. Back on when I had a Windows laptop. And it was just, you build shit. And yeah, there was creepers and the spiders and the skeletons. I think that was it. I don't I don't know. It's just it seems like there's some new mob every single month, or every quarter. And I don't know. I feel about it the same way I feel about Pokemon. Just give me my 250. My kids are oh, look at this. It's Pokemon number 987. I'm not going to be able to memorize that. Come on, man. It's just, yeah, there's just
it's
too
Pokemon
much.
It's Pokemon 987, and it's probably a fucking chair now. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I get... A YouTuber has managed to order Domino's pizza on a Nintendo Wii more than a decade after official online services shut down.
I saw you post this.
Yeah.
How?
I did not look into it, but they did.
That is something you definitely should have looked into, because that's fucking hilarious.
Well, now you have a reason to go up on our Facebook page.
That would
No.
require me to have a Facebook, and I'm just not willing to do that.
Aki, come
Got
on.
you there.
That's for me. Having a Facebook is very similar to having a Twitter. I have better things to do with my life.
Do you
Oh, it
though?
was a modded Wii U.
Yes.
317 says it was a modded. Still very funny.
Yeah, that's still fucking hilarious. I love that.
All right, what else you got?
That is, I believe. Oh, I cannot confirm this yet. It's gone around in a couple of leftist groups that I'm in, along with one Xbox group. But apparently, with the latest round of Epstein files that got released today, supposedly the final tranche, quote unquote, one of the emails that got released is supposedly a ban from Xbox that Jeffrey Epstein received in 2013. Supposedly. Apparently he got booted for... God. Hold on. I could...
I legitimately thought you were going to talk about Gates needing ointment, but I'm glad you didn't.
No. No. Permanent enforcement action, harassment, threats, and or abuse. This email is to notify you that your Xbox Live account or privileges have been permanently suspended due to harassment, threats, and abuse of other players. Blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't really go into it, but yeah. So
Nice.
I'm still trying to find out whether it's legit. Apparently there's like a second email related to it, but yeah, apparently he got kicked off of Xbox. So Microsoft back in 2013 did more than the US government ever did.
That's great. I like that.
All right. Anything else, or should we dive into reviews?
We could dive into reviews.
We instead of dive, just gently dip our toe in to see if it's too cold first.
Nah.
I mean, you're first, so it's up to you how you approach things.
All right, fine. I guess we'll dive in.
But I'm shoving, and you could either cannonball this bitch or you could belly flop it. It's up to you. First game to talk about, Pathologic 3, developed by Ice Pick Lodge, published by HypeTrain Digital, released January 23rd on Series X and S, Xbox PC, and PS5 for $34.99. Bachelor Danil Dankovsky is a young doctor from the capital. His search for the secret of immortality brings him to a remote town gripped by a mysterious plague that will destroy it in 12 days. Now it's up to him to explore the town itself, its past, present, and future to find answers to his numerous questions and try to stop the relentless epidemic. At least, that's what he thinks the story is about, what it's supposed to be about. It's always been about. Bree?
Yeah. So to reiterate some of what you just said, Danil Dankovsky is a doctor from the capital who's arrived in the small backwater town in search of supposed immortality. We arrive by train and half our luggage with our medical equipment is stolen by children. Things don't work around here like they do in the big city, and no one's going to help us get our equipment back but us. And that's the first section of your tutorial on how to do things in the world is partly getting your equipment back. Quickly after arrival, we realize that we are amidst a plague situation and we have very little time to save the town, 12 days to be precise. And the town devolves fast.
It's been 12 days. Oh, wait, sorry.
There are some terms you could throw about to describe this game. Psychological horror, survival horror. It involves time travel, but at its core, it's a first-person adventure game where we have to act like a detective of sorts, interviewing people, talking with them. We have conversation options that will shape the perspective of the NPC, your relationship with them. We get reasoning scenes that help piece the bigger picture together and help us decide how best to proceed. Reminds me a little of the Sherlock Holmes series of games in that regard. We have a mind map to keep track of thoughts, conclusions, and actions. This game is very conversation-based. A little extra layer of complexity to our dealings with others is our mental state. People can tell we're in a manic state and won't respond favorably to that potentially. So we have to find the balance between apathetic and manic as we traverse the landscape as well. And there are reasons to be in a state of mania, like it makes you quicker, but others will perceive your mental state and see you as being wild or dangerous potentially. But we can use drugs to control our mental state, things like morphine and caffeine. But if you swing too far to any one side of the mental state, it could mean disastrous things for our protagonist.
Good job, drug addicts.
Yeah, I would call him a protagonist. I would not call him a hero, despite his best efforts. He has to make some pretty shitty decisions throughout the game. Our conversation choices and actions also lead to mental changes, and we're dealing with a lot of foreign customs and superstitions of the people around us. And things are like socially very murky and hard to navigate. No matter how hard you try to play this game with your choices, like you're going to find yourself having to play against your instincts. Like if you're trying to play your character, like I'm going to play the big hero, like fuck you, no you're not. You're going to have to make shitty decisions, and that's to survive. And this game is still about survival. I didn't play as much of the previous game to be able to compare things, but like there was a big survival component, and there is that in here as well. I didn't feel it was as much survival-y as the previous game, but another big mechanic we have to talk about is time travel. The game is split up into days. There's a timer running when we're actively in the world, and there's a time limit to solve what's going on with the plague before it's too late, obviously. And during your traveling episodes, you can save characters from their dark fates to possibly get information out of them. But you also may find that in order to uncover the ultimate way through your branching paths is to go back and let that same person you saved die, which is kind of fucked up. And I have just a random bunch of things here in my notes. You could diagnose patients. The plague manifests itself as a monster that'll chase you. Combat was pretty smooth. I feel like combat should be last resort throughout most of the time of the game. The game asks you to delve into a more intellectual side of your gaming experience. It's pretty deep and dark and full of nuance. The mind map, I think I mentioned earlier, is a way to visit side quests and revisit topics of interest.
So you're not locked out of anything?
Not really, no. I mean, the nature of time travel, but there are some finite resources and finite things to your time travel, which are hard to explain without giving some things away. It's a much bigger and more complex game than I was expecting, and yet there are things I feel like I can't describe without ruining the game. Yeah, settings
include Chili Peppers, and we are not in California, so we are not going to give it away. Give it away now.
Yeah. So some settings include inverts, remappable controls. There's a streamer mode to hide nudity. That mode's automatically selected as the default. So if you aren't streaming and you want the full frontal, check your settings. But yeah, this is a detailed world with lots of characters in it, conversations to be had. Each time you interact with an NPC to converse, you get a close-up of their breathing, moving character model, often with voice acting. You get the conversation on the side with the name and dialogue, along with the choices that will affect how your conversation goes, or affects your mental state. This is not a short game. I would say like 50 hours plus for all the stuff. And it's dark. I mean that thematically and not lighting-wise. Sometimes it's also really funny in a dark sort of way. Like talking to the kids about getting back my gear led to a comment where the doctor was surprised that the kid knew some bigger words. And the kid excitedly goes, "Yeah, I know the word defenestration from that time when the foreman threw my uncle out of a window." I laughed my ass off at that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's great.
The art is fantastic. It's gritty and full of life. The character models felt unique. The audio, I know.
What was that?
The audio was well done.
Was that?
I said
That was unique.
I'm so sorry. Yep, the audio was well done. Some negatives. Load screens felt a bit much at times. They felt old school for an otherwise modern game. Some of the movement felt stunted, maybe. Like, it wasn't as smooth as I was expecting. Neither was the movement coming out of an NPC dialogue screen, where things visually stuttered or blurred at times. And just, I don't know, there was like a lot of trial and error with the time travel that felt punishing or confusing in early stages of the game. So if you're new to the series, that might be off-putting, but it was nice that you didn't need to have played the previous games to get into this one. It has a rich world that is well established, but not so alien that you find yourself lost in the details. And I'd say it took a while for the game to click with me. Like, if my review sounds a little all over the place about this game, it's because the game is a little disorienting, but I mean that as a compliment.
Oh,
So,
it is a $34.99 game. A little on the premium side. What are your thoughts on Pathologic 3?
I'm going to give this a try it for me. I didn't play enough of the previous Pathologic games to really compare them. I saw enough to know that there are familiar things in 3, but this is a different game. And like I said, you can play this one without having played the previous. But I did feel like I was missing out on the world lore a little. And there were some issues I mentioned, but overall, once I reached a certain point in the game, I started really getting into it. This game is good, but it's not going to be for everyone. You know who probably needs to play this is Horror Acolyte.
I believe Horror said they did play it. The second game, they did a mostly no-kill run.
Yeah. Horror, you should definitely check out Pathologic 3. I think you're going to like it.
Here we go. All right, next up, EBOLA Village. Developed by Indie Games Studio, published by Axyos Games, released January 23rd. Xbox One, Series X and S, PS4, PS5, $19.99. While sitting in her apartment and watching her favorite TV series, the broadcast is suddenly interrupted by a live report about a biological threat. Concerned for her family, Maria travels to a remote village, visit her mother and her ex-husband, Ruslan, and soon terrible things begin to happen. Uncover the village's dark past, piece together its intricate history, and discover who is truly behind the events unfolding there. Jacob, why did you want to cover this? Tell us about your time with EBOLA Village.
So I wanted to cover this game because I had read some of the reviews of it when it was on Steam, because this has picked up notoriety as a budget title that is a lot of asset flips and slop, as they called it. And I was just like, you know what? It's been a while since I played. Yeah, it's been a while since I played a crappy first-person shooter. Let's give it a spin. So, with EBOLA Village, you play as this woman who, also I will say this, when you start up the game, it asks you what your preference in language is. That's only for the text. All of the audio is in like Russian, so it doesn't. I was like, oh, okay, this is how this is going to be. All right, that's fine. So you play as this woman who is, of course, hanging around in her apartment in her underwear, and you watch this, and you watch this breaking news story, and it just keeps going on and on. And oddly on, like, either you're really glued to this thing or stuff was progressing really quickly. It doesn't make sense. But you suddenly decide that you need to, like, get up and go, like, you know, go save what's left of your family. And so begins the this game and its kind of puzzles, which theoretically should be easy to figure out. But sometimes not like it's not that they're not, like, it's not that they're difficult. It's just that I had a hard time seeing stuff in here because it really wanted to make everything moody and dark. But anyway, you have to grab your clothes and your driver's license. Oh no, but it's in a room that's really dark. I'm not going in there, despite the fact that there's a flashlight right there. There's a phone right there that you could, use the flashlight. No. We've got to restore electricity to this thing. And so you get a lot of puzzles that are that kind of level. Or it's like, oh, well, this statue needs to go here, or you need to collect this, before you can go to the next thing. Like, these are not exactly the most... These are not particularly difficult puzzles, thank God. If there is anything that's going to make it difficult, it's the fact that you can't see what the hell you're supposed to be doing. Now, everything does... so the enemies are very generic, and it's very obvious that this is inspired by the Resident Evil games. Like, I'd say, like, from 4 onwards, with how it kind of took like that action adventure more thing than just straight survival horror. And with this, it's just you're going from place to place within the village, get used to buildings looking the same. And thankfully it's like the game will make it obvious where you need to be. Like, oh, it's the only house with lanterns out. I think I'm supposed to go there. And the game does give you enough ammo and health stuff. Playing it on harder difficulties really just means that the zombies have more, they have more HP. So you just have to put like 2 extra slugs into them to make sure that they're dead. And yeah, it's not bad, especially when you realize, like, I think it is a solo dev. Like, it might just be the one guy. I'm not entirely sure. But for a $10 budget title, this was it was a good homage to 1980s B movies, Resident Evil, I'd say like 2005s-ish Resident Evil games. It's kind of like it's there, it's forgettable, but we also know we've all spent worse on $10, or we've spent worse on for more than $10. So this one, if you're looking for I don't know if I'd say it's passable. I'd give it
well, it clocks in at $19.99.
I thought it was 10.
No, it is $19.99. Are you looking at Steam for your information? Maybe you should look at the Xbox store. Or listen when I say the price at the beginning. It is $19.99. Your verdict on Ebola Village.
Okay. Well, I didn't realize it was $19.99. Yeah, it's $16.99 up on there. Why did I think it was like a $10 game? Okay. Anyway. So $20 game. That I'd put it at a hard try it. Like, if you're really desperate for, a brainless, first-person horror game, you could do worse, but at the same time, anytime that there's a sale on Xbox, which is every Monday, you could also do a lot better for $20.
That's fair. All right. Any other thoughts on Ebola Village?
Not really, no.
All right. Next game to talk about is Escape from Ever After, developed by Sleepy Castle Studio and Wing It Creative, published by HypeTrain Digital. Released January 23rd, Series X and S, Switch, PS5, and PC for $24.99. When Flint Buckler, a classic fairy tale adventurer, storms the castle of his evil dragon arch-nemesis Tinder, he finds the once intimidating fortress has been converted into corporate offices. The villainous dragon is nowhere to be found, and her castle is full of mindless, coffee-sipping, report-filling drones. What happened? Escape from Ever After is an adventure RPG inspired by the classic Paper Mario games, where fairy tale and storybook characters must fight back against capitalism. Bree and Aki, both of you covered this. Who wants to start us off?
I have been waiting to talk about this game all week.
You go right ahead then. I will let you do it.
I have a ton of things to say. I've been playing this game like a lot, and also the publisher put out two awesome games this week, and kudos to them. I hope their launch is going well. So yeah, in this Paper Mario inspired turn-based RPG, as Ever After Inc. has crashed in from the real world to all the storybooks they can get their hands on, and like the evil corp they are, they offer dental and vision insurance to those who would sign up with them instead of resisting. After a well-designed tutorial intro sequence, I know, we decide to work for the company to fight them from the inside, and we have to start at the very bottom of the corporate ladder as interns. We'll team up with some unlikely heroes, including people we thought were our enemy, but the real enemy is Ever After Inc., and we need to keep sight of that as we work our way through the corporate structure. And along the way, we'll find our companions, other companions to help on our quest. And this is just a fun blend of fairy tales and office hell, and I'm going to have to tell you a bunch of things to try and describe. But you have to like check your email regularly for tasks from the boss, and there's side quests from your coworkers that'll come up too. There's remappable controls in the game. The graphics are darling. I love the Paper Mario aesthetic of the flat characters in the 2.5D world. There's lots of movement in the character animations, like wagging tails and flapping wings and nodding heads. There are plants moving in the background scenery and stuff like that. It has a fabulous soundtrack. From like spirited fantasy to big band tunes and like jazzy noir music. The sound effects are great. You can change the difficulty at any point during the game, but if you care about achievements on Xbox, you'll want to play this game on hard your first time around, so that maybe you don't have to play it a second time, but I don't care. I'm going to play it a second time. So you get to save on photocopiers, which is super cute. Use vending machines to refill your team's hit points and mocha points, not magic points, but mocha points, because coffee is a huge theme here, because of course The Office. And save points are really generously located like everywhere. There are all kinds of fairy tale and fantasy creatures. There's even a robot working in the office. Mother Goose is the office gossip. And Dracula is there and sells you some clothing. And at some point you have to plan a birthday party for Pinocchio as a side quest. There's tons of familiar literary characters with a twist on them, and it's good fun. It's got turn-based combat. It has fun combat that doesn't have to be too stressful. You can use commands from your list of actions, from attacking and using skills to researching and running away. For an added challenge, there's timed combat. You can press at the right time to get extra attacks or help with blocks. There's an assist mode that will make sure that you always succeed with guarding and attacking if you want to use that and just carry on with the story. There is some nuance to the enemies. There are long-range attacks with enemies that have shields. You want to burn flimsy wooden shields. You get other abilities later to kind of like jump around people's shields. There's stacks of enemies, rows of enemies. You need to employ proper strategy and research to easily destroy your foes. You can also switch the order of people in your party each turn. You might have like a guard with a shield that you need to burn before you can throw a long-range buckler attack at the pike that's now ready to stab your team. And then after that, you might switch back because Flint has more health than Tinder and should be out front more and stuff like that. You only ever have 2 people in your party, and you can also switch companions in battle, not just swapping characters in rows, but like on the mini-map, you have 2 characters that you're running around with who will show up as the default in battle. On the first round, you can perform a free swap, but in subsequent turns, you have to take a character turn or pay a skill point. It's a lot of fun to be able to switch out your characters because they all have different abilities. And the more characters you get, the more interesting that gets as well. In addition to combat strategies and knowing your enemy, you have synergy or team attack skills. I love that because it's, corporate synergy. And you can heal or do group damage, stuff like that. There's one attack where everybody helps pull this like giant slingshot. And the more people you actually have that you've like earned through the story, the further you get in the story, the bigger the attack actually gets because everybody jumps in and helps pull another little bit further. So that attack grows as the game goes on, which is pretty cool. In addition to combat strategies and knowing your enemy, I already said that, synergy attacks. Let's see. You have gear called trinkets that help you with new abilities or bonuses. Oh, and you have the ability to throw Flint's buckler on the main map to get a first strike on enemies on the main map because they wander around. You can avoid some of the enemies, but they're pretty much designed as encounters on the way to your objective that'll raise your level to be appropriate for the boss ahead. There isn't a lot of grinding in this game, and encounters aren't really random. There are a few currencies in the world for different things. You have coins to buy healing items, star gems for specialized items, stuff like that. There are plenty of interactables in the world. You can use Flint's buckler to activate switches. There are layers to the scenery that have hidden objects and secrets to find. I mentioned mocha points earlier. You have healing items like donuts for health and coffee for magic points. And then you get synergy points to do those team maneuvers. Each hero on your team has unique abilities, like the ability to breathe fire on torches. I know I did it again.
Heard that. I heard that.
That was unique.
But yeah, you have puzzles to solve. And so your characters have different skills. Flint can throw his buckler. Your bard can perform musical combos to grow plants. Tinder has the fire breathing. Later you get teamed up with the witch. I won't give too much away on that one because that was a cool bit of plot. And she like transforms things into other things. You finally have a use for all those hidden cats that you can find around the world. And you can research enemies to reveal their health bar. It's in the tactics menu. It works on enemy types. You can also find like info like their weaknesses. And you have a little mini game to get crosshairs to match to make it work. And you use the tactics menu to do things like guard and run away, encourage each other, which is really cute because everybody has their own thing that they say. I'm almost done rambling. We have...
Oh, no, take your time.
I'm having fun with this one. Yeah, no, this is a great one. We fight 3 blind mice who aren't blind anymore because there's a dental and vision insurance at Ever After Inc. And there are apartments being constructed with the help of 3 little pigs that could be affordable housing for residents of the storybook, but the locals aren't thrilled about giving up their lands for the project. Go figure. The company culture wants you to believe that they're providing a happier, more stable life than the original stories could allow for, but we're not buying it. We get to travel to different storybook environments through books kept in the library. This employs the use of a sci-fi device called a telepager, and you need to get really far in the plot to get clearance to travel to the real world. I think there's like 5 chapters to the game, and each chapter features, I won't say that word, a special new area to explore. There's a journal to help you make sense.
You just hear Aki every time it comes up.
There's a journal to help you make sense of the tasks ahead. It'll remind you of your current objectives, which is really helpful when you come back, or even like I'm just scatterbrained and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Sometimes I felt like it was hard to navigate the 3D space with my little 2D avatars. There was a timed maze you have to do and some jumps that were hard to make. Sometimes it just couldn't line up right. Like the depth perception thing just didn't work for me. Story-wise, we fail upward and we get promoted. So that tracks with the real world. The writing is funny and cute. In your office, you can decorate and check your emails and use a music player of unlocked songs. I feel like I'm not doing justice to describing anything other than the technical aspects of this RPG. Like, it's an amazing game. I had a ton of fun. I could barely put it down. The humor's great. The storytelling's excellent. It's quirky and full of cute nods to fairy tales and fantasy stories. And it's Paper Mario Origins. Aki?
I really liked this game as well. I thought it was really fun. I liked...
And we're out of time. I need some bird... No. Go ahead, Aki.
I liked how all of the storybooks were kind of twisted from what you would expect them to be. Like the first one where they were mentioning, the buildings that were being made and forcing people out. It's the 3 little pigs doing the building and they're forcing all the wolves out. So it's the exact opposite of what you would expect from the 3 Little Pigs book. I loved that. That was so awesome. And yeah, I really like the characters. I didn't get as far into it as Bree did, because I had other stuff I had to fiddle with. But I've really enjoyed it. I do like that at the beginning you have all this different stuff to buy, and you look around, you're like, oh shit, I can't find any more enemies, and I've picked up all the coins. Oh no, how am I going to get more money? But once you unlock your first book, every time you travel between them, all the coins that were just laying around, a whole bunch of them respawn. So you can keep going in between them and just collecting money.
You can go back to those storybooks that you finished, because there's actually like side quests that pop up that'll send you back there, which is really cool.
Yeah, I really like it, and I liked getting different abilities that allowed you to move around the landscape easier, so you can get to new hidden areas, because I can't find the word. So yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was really cute, and I absolutely love Tinder, because Tinder is just the shittiest little shitheel, and I absolutely adore it, because she's used to being this big, bad, evil dragon, and now she's been turned into this cute little tiny itty-bitty dragon that...
Does she have a brother?
I don't know.
It could be Twinder.
No, I like Jacob's... what about Grindr? I like that one more. But yeah, so she can barely spew flames and stuff, and like everything's like, oh, who's this cute little lizard? And she just flips out. Like everyone sees her as this little adorable mascot type thing, and it just makes her angrier and angrier. And I love it because it's hilarious.
Jacob's got the jokes, but he doesn't say them on the mic, so.
Yeah, he really should have said that one out loud.
I mute myself during other people's reviews. I've told you that before.
But when you have a joke that good, you unmute, because that was cool.
Yeah, I'm not. My reflexes aren't that quick.
But you typed it.
Which took longer.
Yeah, it's muscle memory.
$25 on Escape from Ever After. I need some verdicts.
I'll let you go first, Bree, since...
If you like RPGs, and especially Paper Mario style games, Escape from Ever After should be your next buy.
I totally think that people should be buying and playing this. This is a fantastic little game. It's super cute. This is fun for everybody. I can't think of anyone who would play this and be like, oh, this fucking sucks. So, yeah, definitely buy it.
Only someone miserable, like Jacob, right, Jacob?
Yep.
I mean, probably.
Shitheel.
Jacob, said you got something to talk about.
Yeah, so two things. I actually did have something else I wanted to say about EBOLA Village, not necessarily like needed for the review or anything like that, but something I thought was funny. For as much as I was just like, ooh, it's not scary, blah, 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 the first time I was playing through it, which is the tutorial level, I was super baked, and I will say this about the aesthetics. I did actually get creeped out in the apartment, and I had to stop playing.
Good.
Until I was sober, and then I was just like, oh, this isn't scary. I knew it all. I knew that there wasn't actual zombies the whole time. Anyway, so there's that. And then I found the other Epstein email about Xbox Live.
Odd.
Dear Xbox Live member, this message is to notify you that the Xbox Live has permanently suspended the Xbox Live account associated with this email address, which is the gevacation@gmail.com. Yeah. This action is based on the New York Attorney General's partnership with Microsoft and other online gaming companies to remove New York registered sex offenders from online gaming services to minimize the risk to others, particularly children. As a result, any Xbox Live account associated with this email address will not be able to connect to Xbox Live. And then it goes through like refund stuff. But yeah, and they're just like, yeah, we don't give a shit what else you have to say. You're gone.
Wow.
That was necessary.
I have something else to say.
What you got, Bree?
Okay.
So I've mentioned before that I keep a list of like favorite indies on True Achievements. And I have 3 games on there so far. 2 of them are from this week. So we'll see how long they stay on the list as new games come out. But The Last Case of John Morley, Escape from Ever After, and Tavern Manager Simulator are my first 3 games for the year that I thought were really good. So yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, Jacob's got 2 to talk about. Maybe one of these 2 could join the list. Next up, Arcade Archives 2 Labyrinth Runner, developed and published by HAMSTER, released January 22nd, Series X and S, Switch to PS5, $9.99. Labyrinth Runner is a shooting game released by Konami in 1988. You set off on a journey towards the castle where the evil devil awaits. Wow, we're just getting right to the devil. In order to rescue the kidnapped Princess Papaya. Be wary of the various traps along the way and use 3 types of projectiles to defeat enemies appearing from all directions as you advance. Jacob, what is going on in Labyrinth Runner?
Well, you have to defeat Devil, which the game's menu is very clear as to what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be going into the castle so you can defeat Devil. Like, I don't know. It randomly has big words in English on like the main screen at first.
I know you don't like big words.
Well, thankfully there weren't too many syllables because, I do put the wrong emphasis on those.
Yeah.
And whatever, fuck you.
So,
anyway, so it's a top-down like shooter adventure game, and it's really supposed to be like action adventure, but you really only thing that you're doing in this game is shooting and also dodging. You play as this guy who has to rescue Princess Papaya, and like the game makes it seem like you're going to be running around with a sword, but you don't. You've got like a gun. Okay, it's weak, but thankfully it kills most enemies in one hit, unless it's a boss, which you can go then get fucked. And like theoretically, if you wanted to, I guess you could try to dodge as much as you can. There were times where I was just like, fuck it, I hate dealing with all these enemies. I'm just gonna like book it and make it to the next zone where it saves. But enemies that you shoot or kill, I should say, they do drop power-ups sometimes, and those power-ups are how you get your second and third weapons. And the second weapon is like a bigger shooter gun thing, which those have more of a chance of like ricocheting and stuff. And the other one is a bomb, which completely sucks, except for some very specific situations. And also the bomb is near damn useless unless you're using it on a unless you're using it on a boss, because the way that the game you'd figure, it's just going to throw the bomb in front of me. No, it tosses it like up and over, and so you're more likely to have the enemy run underneath your bomb and like perfectly escape before that thing ever even goes off. And yeah, so you have to make your way through. I'll bet you can't guess what it turns out that the whole place is.
A laboratory.
Close. A labyrinth. A maze. Yeah, I know.
This was Labrador.
So each level is its own like little maze, and already the game is complicated because you can only shoot in 8 directions and you can't be moving while you shoot, because God forbid, we make this game any easier on you. And so I died a lot. Like, I really wish that there was like an achievement for dying a lot, because then I would have probably been the first one to unlock it. But yeah, so it does like try varying up stuff. Like, the very first level's outside, then you start getting into the castle and the surrounding areas. At one point, one of the levels is this like mine thing, and that one I hated with a passion. Hated so much, because like all the other levels you can just run around and like, oh, it's a dead end, or like it's not a great place for me to be, whatever, I'll backtrack and like figure this one out. You're on mine carts that are moving, so guess what, like you run into a dead end, you just ate shit. Like there goes one of your lives. And oh, by the way, also you lose your power-ups when you die. So there are some boss fights where you could just go get fucked because you needed your bombs and now you don't have any. So thankfully in the boss fights, so thankfully in some of the boss fights, there are enemies that will spawn so you can theoretically get them, but it's just like, God, if there was a game designed to eat quarters, like this certainly
that is the point of this entire release series of Arcade Archives.
I know, like, yeah, that's the point of arcade games, but I'm just like, damn. Like,
I didn't know this was released as part of Game Room on 360 way back when.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was actually reading up on the history of the game. Apparently they made like just under 500 cabinets for this thing.
Oh.
And it's stupidly rare. Like there's some sort of like video or like arcade machine collectors website. There's only like 11 people who have it, and they just have the chipboard for it.
All right, well, now you can get it for $10 and have it digitally. What are your thoughts on Arcade Archives 2 Labyrinth Runner?
Are you looking for a difficult game that's occasionally, a good time? Then yeah, I'd recommend it. This one is just hard as hell. It's frustrating. I mean, at minimum, I say try it. Like, I love the Arcade Archives series. Like, I'm glad that, this one's now out for us to, judge again. I wish it was easier, but hey, I mean, it's a cool piece of Konami history, so I'm glad it's out.
Indeed, I can agree there. You got another classic game to talk about with the Monty Mole Collection, developed by Imagine Software, published by Pixel Games. This went out on Series X and S and Xbox PC for $8.99 on January 23rd. All Monty wanted was a quiet life, but when faced with an unbearably cold winter, found himself stealing coal to survive, and that led to a life on the run from the authorities. A journey that would take him all across Europe. The Monty Mole series of adventure platformer games for the home microcomputers were the brainchild of Peter Harrop, the teenage son of a mining inspector, inspired by the 1984 mining strikes in the UK. Jacob, what is going on in the Monty Mole Collection?
So I was not familiar with Monty Mole at all. It is a old British series that was out on the ZX Spectrum and Commodore 64 computers, which, I mean, like pretty much here in the US, everyone either had Apple or IBM. Like these weren't as big. So I mean, unfortunately, like, I don't know if these ever got ported to Apple II, because I feel like my dad pirated just about every game that he could for the Apple II way back in the day. Well, I mean, it's, it was done back in the 80s, man. Like,
if only like Xerox the entire instruction booklet so that you could type in page 18, word 7 from paragraph 12.
Well, I don't think.
By the way, unless you could tell me the 7th word from the 12th sentence that was uttered on this episode will never continue.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, it was God. All right, go ahead.
Dang it. All right, anyway. So, Monty Mole is this character who he's running around and collecting pieces of coal, and you have to avoid all of these, all these bad guys. There's also these things that will crush you, called crushers. But yeah, it's the first game's most the first game is a platformer, and most of the titles in this series were platformers. Honestly, they were kind of fun and more competent than a few of the other older, ZX Spectrum and Commodore 64 platformers that we've played on here before. But yeah, so anyway, that's pretty much what we're doing in those games. Now, one of them is more of a maze game, where you're playing as Sam Stout, who is this guy who is going to break Monty out of jail, which is the second game. And that one's more of like a labyrinth kind of thing, but the series does go back to the platforming roots. It's one of those you have to remember, like, these were made back in the 1980s. Like, these are relative. I mean, they're not simple games. I don't mean in that regard, but I mean, it's just like, it's not like what we've got today. I mean, and these things were like hugely popular back in the day. And it's, it's nice to introduce Monty to an entire generation that probably never heard of this character. Like, and honestly, they were pretty decent for what they were. Like, I liked them enough.
All right, there are 6 games in this collection? Something like that?
Yes. Yeah.
Any stand out over the others?
I liked Monty is Innocent. That was the Labyrinth one. But what I think is really cool is that a couple of the games were actually like given away like by magazines back in the day. Like what's it called? Moly Christmas. That's the one that was actually given away with a video game magazine back in the day. Also, one of the first times that a video game series, published like Christmas specific titles. So that was kind of cool in a historical kind of way.
That's awesome. All right, sounds like a good package. It is $8.99 on Xbox Series and PC. What do you think?
Absolutely. Let Monty out in the sun again. Although he's a mole, so he probably doesn't want to be out in the sun.
Yeah, that's a horrible. Why would you suggest that?
I give him the accolades he deserves.
No,
we'll give him. Well, I don't know. I can't put him out in the sun.
I know.
It's rude. Yeah.
We move on.
I tried. Yeah. Yes.
Lara returns to the castle, developed and published by YUME Game Studio, released January 30th on Xbox One, Series, and PC for $5 each. Lara Returns to the Castle is a charming platformer where you control Princess Lara on her journey back to the castle. Shocker. After getting lost while searching for flowers, she must overcome traps and collect magical flowers to open portals that lead to the next level. With charismatic visuals, increasing challenges, and a captivating protagonist, the game blends action and lightheartedness, appealing to players who enjoy adventures with beauty and purpose. Bree, you covered this one. I just want to say right off the bat, I'm looking at the game page for this on the store, and when I see cover art that is this blatantly AI, I completely tune out of the game.
Yeah, that's fair. So
how's
yeah,
the game though?
Covered...
Hopefully the game is better than the cover art.
I'm going to say a lot of the same things because there's not so much to the game that wasn't covered in the right up there. Princess Lara leaves the castle in search of the prettiest flowers and finds herself lost in unfamiliar lands, like little girls do, I guess, when they go out and chase butterflies and things in the woods. And we have to help navigate back to the safety of the castle and bring some flowers with us. So in this platformer, we have to find our way to the exit and not get hit by any of the forest critters. So we come across a ton of cute cats along the way, but I couldn't find any way to pet them, and that made me sad.
Deny it.
I know, right? In order to get through the exit, you'll need to find and collect all the flowers, and then the door will open. If you hit any enemies, like snails, Lara will cry, and you'll have to start the level over. It has a cute crying animation, I suppose. This is a platformer, so you'll have to avoid things like spikes, gaps, critters, saw blades. I don't know if they were saw blades. They were wheels with spinny things of doom on them. While you jump with your single jump or on a bouncy platform, you'll be avoiding all those things. And there are switches you can activate that create moving platforms. Later you get lasers and teleporters. And Lara's cute little Lisa Frank vomit world got really full of deadly traps very quickly. And sometimes the flowers were really hard to see because of the color palette of the forest landscape compared to the flowers, which are like pink and orange. And you have this kind of like fall forest.
Yeah, they could blend in.
On. Yeah. Yeah. Pixel art was actually well done. I like the soundtrack. Did I mention all the cute cats? They were very cute. Yeah. There were also like armadillos that made me smile, even though they were speedy little bastards. I had a rough time jumping over them. There were unicorns and butterflies. Gameplay felt kind of slow. But it worked as intended. There were some spelling issues or typos in the exposition at the end. There are 40 levels to conquer. This was alright. Nothing super exciting. If you want a cute little platformer for easy achievements, this will do that for you at a reasonable price.
Okay, well, it's $5. Your verdict.
I can give this a try it, but really only if you want easy achievements. It's kind of short and generic and triple stacked for your achievement getting pleasures.
And which we're trying to avoid. Next up, A Dream About Parking Lots, developed and published by Take It Studio, released July 30th on Xbox One, Series X and S, $4.99. Look for your car in a series of mazes and parking lots while you talk to your therapist about feeling lost. An interactive short story about trying to make sense out of the unreal, based on real dreams. Jacob, you wanted to check this one out all by your lonesome. Tell us about it.
I did. Now, Bree actually reviewed this last year. However, I'm on Press Engine, and this was the very first game that I got sent.
Yeah.
GG.
Thank you.
Now review it.
I was excited.
Do it.
Whatever.
Do the thing. Do the thing.
Do the thing, dancing monkey.
So anyway, so this is actually like one of the first narrative games that my kids have watched me play, and they were kind of amused by it, but also kind of perplexed, because pretty much like they've watched me play like Once Upon a Jester and like a few other like point and click adventure ones, but this was like the first one where it was, a quote unquote walking simulator. So anyways, in this, you are...
Hold on, real quick. First question I'm going to hit you with right off the bat. You said you played it with your kids. It's talk heavy. It is rated E for mild language. How bad does the language get in the game for younger audiences? What's the worst you remember seeing?
I don't remember seeing anything. So it must have been something like damn or hell. Like maybe crap. Like
vicious. All right, continue on. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't remember anything bad. But anyway, so you are this game dev who is you keep having these reoccurring dreams where you're walking around in a parking lot, and as you're going through these surreal dreamlike states, you're essentially recalling your discussions that you were having with your therapist. Or now I'm wondering if like maybe like you're hypnotized and like you're talking like while you're asleep or whatever. Like, those kind of things that like you see in cartoons and crap. I don't know if that's real. I assume it is. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway. So you're talking to your therapist and trying to work through why you keep having this dream, what's going on in your life, perhaps, perhaps that's influencing it. Perhaps it was when you were a kid, and trying to break free of everything. Like, why do you keep trying to find this car? Like, what does it symbolize for you? And like, what is it that's blocking you from being able to make the game that you want to make? And so that's what the narrative is about. Gameplay is you are moving through these maze-like parking lots, and there's various stuff that's blocking it. There might be some debris, there might be some oddly parked cars that, amazingly enough, you can't climb over their hood or something, or like you couldn't like shimmy in between. Whatever. The game obviously has a very specific path that you're supposed to take through everything. And you're supposed to finish your therapy before you get in your car once you find it, because you've got your little fob that you keep clicking, and when you get close enough, your car will beep its horn and flash its lights at you and stuff like that. But you should be able to finish your conversation before that. Otherwise, you'll just have to stand outside your car. I thought it was interesting that you could actually end it earlier, and there was no impact on story. It was just you just get an achievement for it. But I did almost kind of panic the first time I did, but then it was pretty clear that it was like whatever. But anyways, I really like the visuals. I wish I could have walked a little bit quicker through it, but it was a nice time. It was like a relaxing, hour, maybe hour and a half journey. But yeah, that was cool. I liked it.
Cool. Well, it's a $5 game. Give us your verdict.
Yeah, $5 is great. I recommend it.
Yazzie. All right, we got one final review tonight, and we're changing things up just a little bit. We are going to talk about a dice set, the Daggerheart Duality dice set, Fate of the Mortal Realms Sharp-Edged Edition, sent to us courtesy Sirius Dice out of Brooklyn, New York, created by Sirius Dice and available on SiriusDice.com for $34.99 with other styles. Be sharp at the table with the Daggerheart Duality Dice Fate of the Mortal Realms dice set Sharp-Edged Edition. This is a high-quality, sharp version of our very popular dice set crafted exclusively for the Daggerheart RPG. At its core, you'll find a classic 7-die RPG set beautifully layered in navy blue and teal, evoking the balance between destiny and danger. But Daggerheart introduces something new, the Hope and Fear dice, 2 custom D12s that bring tension and triumph to every session. Aki, you are the dice fanatic. You roll them in your weekly sessions. How did these hold up? How do they look? How do they feel? Tell us about these dice.
Okay, so for this, it's the standard 7 dice, which is a 4-sided die, a 6-sided die, 8-sided die, 10-sided, a percentile, which is just another 10-sided die, but it has 10s on it instead of singles, a 12-sided die, and a 20-sided die. And then along with it also comes the Hope and Fear die, which are cast differently from the rest of the dice that are also 12-sided dice. The thing about this set is that because it's made for Daggerheart specifically, which is its own TTRPG, it was created by Critical Role pretty recently. I think it was last year was when they finally came out with it, maybe the year before. But in it, basically, you have all your standard dice, but then the other 2 die, the Hope and Fear die, are set instead of using the D20, you use the 2 of these in its place, and instead you add up their numbers, and if it passes, great. Then you have to look at which die has the higher number on it, and you can tell which one's the hope die and which one's the fear die because these are clear die instead of the other ones that are teal and they say navy blue, but it's purple. And these ones are clear, but one has some purple in it, like an ink drop of purple, and the other has an ink drop of teal in it. So one of those, whichever you decide, is your hope die, and which the other one is your fear die. Basically, if you make a roll and the hope die has the higher number, you get a hope point, and if the fear die is higher, the DM gets a fear point. And those just basically are used for extra actions that you can do in the game, or for the DM, extra ways they can fuck you over, because that is purely all that's used for. Yay, good fun. So yeah, the dice, these are sharp edged, which means that they have literal sharp edges. It's a choice between that and rounded. So it's
a long while ago, I watched a wrestling match where they pulled out dice. You would want to use rounded edge, not sharp edge, correct?
They probably used sharp edge. Just knowing the shit that they do in the wrestling that you watch, they almost assuredly used sharp edge. Sharp edge. If you have a tendency to lose your if you lose your die because you roll them and they just kind of disappear on you, or you have little kids, you don't want sharp edge, because if you step on one of these, it's not just going to hurt. You're going to have... like you drop this 4-sided die and you step on it. Yeah, it's going in your foot.
It's a caltrop.
Yeah, literally, it is a caltrop. So yeah, there are pluses and minuses for both types. Like personally, I don't particularly care what type of die I get, whether it's rounded or sharp edge. There's benefits and drawbacks usually. The exact different opposites for the two. For instance, like rounded die, if you have just an open table, which is what I usually have because I don't have a dice tray, I don't like rounded die for that, because once they start rolling, they roll really well and they just keep rolling. Whereas sharp edge die, because it's so sharp, they tend to pretty quickly stop, and then you know what the hell you have. So since I don't have, a dice tray, which is legitimately just a tray that you roll dice in, that's all it is.
Get a box.
I know that, yeah. Because I don't have that, I prefer them to just hit and land real quick. Also, I like kind of like the feel of the sharp pokey bits while I'm rolling them, just because I'm weird like that. Maybe a little bit of masochism. I don't know. But yeah.
You're a unique one, Aki.
Yeah, fuck you. I hate you. I have to go write that bullshit down too. Fuck you. Otherwise, it is very pretty die. I don't want to get too into like, this is the differences between rounded and sharp edge. I mean, think about it for 5 seconds. You'll figure it the fuck out. So yeah, the two 12-sided die that are different are used specifically for the hope and fear mechanic. The rest of them are basically used for weapon damages in the game, and in other systems they're also mostly used for weapons damages. For instance, like you have a dagger. That's not going to do as much damage as, I don't know, like an explosive or a great sword or something. So it's always a D4 every time. I don't know any system that's like, a dagger is more than a D4, because that's ridiculous.
Hey, Aki, I'm going to post the link in general. You tell me if I'm on the ball that you need this.
Oh God.
In general on the SML Discord. Because I would own the shit out of that thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty neat. Yeah. I've seen cooler ones, but I do like that one.
I've seen cooler ones. Shut up. These dice are $34.99. Give us your final thoughts on them, and what are your thoughts on the price at $35?
I really like these die. I've been filling with them. They're really well balanced. And I did 2 different checks for balance. There's a saltwater balance check, which is literally you just toss the die into salt water and until it floats. So you may have to make it saltier and saltier. And then you kind of just flick it around in there just to make sure it doesn't hit like the same couple places over and over. It's just a little faster than just rolling it like 1,000 fucking times each die and keeping track of them. So they're really well balanced because I did both of those. So yeah, I think they're really good. I'm totally for it. $35. That's about average price, realistically, for these. So I think that's completely fair. Usually, when you get sets like this, they're depending on how many die are in it. They usually run anywhere from like 20 to upwards of even $50 I've seen them. So 35 I think is a perfectly reasonable price for this, especially since it comes in a nice container that it has magnets and stuff on it to keep it closed and stuff. Very nice. Kind of hard to get the dice out of it though the first time.
Yeah.
I
looking
like
at the Sirius site, they have a nice blue cloak and dagger dice set that clocks in at $4.90. A couple that clock in at that price, and then there are 3 sets: the Sapphire Grove, the Crimson Grove, and the Arctic Grove limited edition sets. $149.99.
Wow. I am looking for those right now to see why they might cost so bloody much. That's probably because it has a wooden case. That's
the wooden case, the resin, I'm sure helps, all that fun stuff.
Oh, most of their die are going to be made out of resin.
I love this description. It says, the hope die is carrying a glimmer of optimism. The fear die embodies the weight of risk. I love that.
Yeah, I haven't played a lot of Daggerheart myself. I have played one game of it that was one shot. The mechanics of it are weird for people who have played other systems, but they're not hard to figure out. Because usually you roll a d20 for everything, because most systems are d20s. All the really popular ones are.
Yeah.
Whereas Daggerheart is a d12 system, and that because obviously you're rolling the 2d12s. That's what most everything is rolling those. Yeah. So it's a little weird.
Jacob's rolling D's nuts on his tongue.
I've been waiting to actually talk about how half the time it sounds like Aki's talking about rolling around a pair of balls.
Don't say that. These are sharp edge. There we go. I only want sharp edge die now.
Testicles.
If they're rounded now, that's all I'm going to be able to think about. Matter of fact, that Arctic Grove one, it's $150. It's on sale right now. It's usually $180.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Arctic Grove is also what happens when I put icy hot on my pubes.
And with that, the episode is done for the week. Big thanks to the MAGFest crew for coming on, hanging out with us. Actually, those Arctic Grove sets sold out. All the limited edition ones are gone.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like $675 limited sets of each one. That is crazy.
Yeah, people who buy die are like I am with Gunpla. We're insane.
And we know you're insane for a lot of reasons. Anyway, we are going to end the show. I was going to play something from MAGFest, but one of my friends, DCT, Sonic Skillz, just put out a new rap beat version of The Moon from DuckTales. So we're going to listen to that to end the show. Some nice chill hip hop. And we'll be back with our anniversary show next episode. Y'all ready for that one?
I will stop by.
Hey. Does anyone have any final words to end the show?
No.
Nothing?
Jacob gargles balls. There you go.
I mean, we know.
Yeah, I mean that's nothing new. Come on,
We didn't say it had to be new. We just said it had to be final words.
Mel, as we settle off onto our journey to the moon, Jacob will gargle thine ball.
Ooh, I like that. Nice deep voice to it.
Oh, we even have a button for that one too, believe it.
You better get your balls ready.
Ooh. My balls are waiting, sir.